Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the parks will be opening in 4 minutes. We hope you have come to enjoy the amazing attractions we have here at Worlds of Adventure USA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the parks will be opening in just a few seconds. We hope you are ready to enjoy the day here at Worlds of Adventure USA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Worlds of Adventure USA in Florida. The parks are now open. Come one, come all. Now let's turn our attention to the Parks Operations Center where we have our heroes. most of the heroes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Heroes Core Worlds of Adventure. I am PA USA, aka Harper West. We have a few new people, as you can see. Let's start off with the people we already know. We'll start off with... No, not that way. That person down there.
Wait.
Me. Hi.
Yes.
Hi. I am Tricia Noir. I play Jessica Rose. Yeah. AKA Queen Bee, and apparently I'm the only flyer on this entire team, which is weird.
How unfortunate.
Yes.
Well, technically, I have a flying.
And that,
It's a little different.
and yeah, the crazed fuzzball next to me, I guess.
Who you calling a fuzzball?
Because you are a fuzzball.
You with the
Yeah.
fuzz.
Well, anyways, hello. I'm the funny man. I'm the funny man Gearbox. I'm playing my character, Lewis Harley, also known as Baxter. He's the funny inventor man going slightly insane because way too many thoughts.
Yep. And...
Next person, go.
I guess it's probably me.
Yes, you're the
I
lucky one.
am Chris, otherwise known as Pi3, and I am playing Christian Pierce, who is presently also Diamond Ace, hero powered by luck and crazy technology.
Luck is not a superpower.
It is too.
Yes, it is.
And we're gonna actually, before we introduce our two new characters, which you probably already can see their names on screen, but we're going to start off with one of our characters arriving in a taxi at the airport.
Well, I'm going to be late. I am going to be late.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There's traffic ahead. Hold on. Let me just pull over here. Yep, that'll be. Let me see. $152.38, ma'am.
Why so expensive?
Airport transit, early morning.
I understand. All right. And she pulls out.
Are you paying by
And she-
cash, credit, or check, ma'am?
I am paying by credit. Here.
Thank you. All right. Enjoy your day and have a good way home. Let me get the bags for you. He hops out and opens up the trunk. This one's so heavy. What do you have in here, bricks?
Yes.
You should mind your own business.
Well, I just get paid to transport the passengers. Here you go. And you have your ticket, you don't think you need a passport, but you know, I always ask that question. Ma'am.
I have my tickets.
Well, the first class door is over there for domestic first. For East Coast Jet, if you need any questions, I'm sure the people there can help you. I have another... great. Another call. I gotta go. Bye. And he hops
Thank
back
you
into the
very
car.
much, young man.
Hops back into the car, forgetting to completely close the trunk, and just drives off with the trunk up.
Oh no. What?
Not even going to try.
Yeah, that's a Florida move.
Luigi.
Yep.
That's
That's
completely
such a
fair.
Florida move.
And you enter the terminal, and
Mhm.
it's very busy here. Like for early morning, like there's no line at like the first class check-in, but like you go up to the front desk with your... How many bags do you have, by the way?
I have to.
2 bags.
Two bags.
Hello, welcome to East Coast Jet. Are you checking in for
Yes.
today's flight?
Yes, I am.
Where are you headed?
Back to New Orleans.
All right. Can I see your ticket, please?
Here. And
Thank
you
you.
probably would like to see my ID as well.
Yes.
And she produces both of those.
Simon, welcome aboard. And I see you are traveling first class. Excellent. Today's a good flight. She stamps your tickets and says, you will be boarding out of gate A1, terminal 2, domestic. I'm sure you've been here before, but the lounge is open to you if you'd like it. That's on level 3 in terminal 2. And you have access to the priority lane. Yep. If you have any other questions, just let me know. And your flight departs at... Oh my, you have 10 minutes to get through security. You better get going.
Thank you. I already knew that. I'm going to be late, and you see her.
And you can leave your bags here. I'll check them for you.
Thank you, young man.
You're welcome.
And you see her
Heading
quickly run.
through
She
security.
has a purse
Mhm.
and a backpack.
Yep.
And she also she waited long enough to get her ticket and her ID
Yeah.
back. She's gonna need that again.
Yeah, exactly. You go through security pretty quickly, no
Mhm.
delays, and you get to the
Mhm.
gate.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, final boarding call for East Coast Jet. Flight number 721 with nonstop with intermediate service to Chicago and New Orleans. Paging passenger Ellis Simon. Paging passenger Ellis Simon. Final call. Passenger Ellis Simon.
She is trying to get through security as fast as she knows how.
And we cut to the people in the hotel now, where we have a kind of a elderly man, middle-aged maybe, waking up and the sun is rising out the window, and you notice there's this weird hexagonal like dome over the park as you open the
Well,
window.
That's probably hard to see fully.
No,
but yeah.
well, yeah,
Or
hard
how
to
easy is
see,
it
but
to see?
it's very visible. But
I like that.
Eric,
It does take a second.
Eric, you're up.
What a bastard of a morning already. Damn it. I don't want to wake up yet. But I have a class to teach. What the hell is that?
As
Just
you
took you
as you
over.
flip on the TV and you hear a news report from last night, which I'm gonna cut to. Give me a moment. Just for a recap for those who are here. Give me a moment. Where is it? Nope.
Coming to you live from Worlds of Adventure, USA, in Florida, this is Breaking News.
Funny intro music.
And then the news report is...
We
He
interrupt this
quickly, points a finger at the TV, pressing the button
afternoon,
from his
all.
bed.
I'm Mike Anderson.
Yep.
Because, he can do that. That's the thing he can do.
Yeah. And when you put your finger at you pick up the remote, you put your finger at the TV, and you realize the remote's doing nothing. Your finger's doing something.
Oh, great. Another mysterious one of those weird abilities that I've been developing for the last 2 years. Fantastic! I get to study that and aerodynamics.
Fun.
And on the TV,
Alright.
you hear something about some chaos happening in the park, and you see, like, weird people in... I'll let everyone describe their characters briefly and what they were doing that day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Practically a recap.
yeah, there's shots of a woman in a burned toga flittering around like a fairy, actually, trying to get people off of a roller coaster, and then trying to talk to a big furry creature with big ears.
Speaking of furry creatures, unless you're not done with your description.
Well, it did look like she shot something out of her hand, and that was probably the end of the report on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's of course
A
footage
zoom
of
in
Mike.
photo of, like, the guy and, like, the announcement with the opening,
Yeah,
message from this thing.
yeah. With Baxter. Like, basically, there's probably like a lot of clips of what he probably said
There's a
on that
lot
day.
of like talk about this guy named Lewis Harley, and
Well, how do people know that's Lewis Harley?
well, no, this guy named Lewis Harley disappearing mysteriously and falling off of the Megaton Tower right after the grand opening, and his body hasn't been recovered yet, and they don't know where he is, and now the park's in turmoil, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, there's footage of this guy in a floating vehicle, seemingly commanding some robots, and also pushing a big button before the shield appears.
Yep.
Of course, it looks like he's fixing the remote and then pushes it like it got destroyed.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And then I think there could be a shot in the news montage of a guy wearing goggles running from robots.
Yep. And how do you
Probably
react
the
to
most
it?
visible thing that Ace did.
How do you react to this, Eric?
Well. Looks like there's all kinds of not so aerodynamic bull crappery going on at the park. I'll never get my studies done. I better go intervene and see what the hell is going on.
As you get dressed and get ready, we cut back to... Ladies and gentlemen, final boarding call. Doors will now be closing. As you're like booking it to the gate.
She is running as fast as humanly possible.
As you see the flight, like the desk attendant slowly closing the door, and you.
Wait! I am here.
All right. What's your name? Are you Ella Simon?
Yes.
All right. Hurry in. The pilot's a little bit anxious to get going.
Right. And you see her take off down the
jet bridge.
Jet bridge.
Mhm.
And she is
As the
look at it.
as you see the flight attendant slowly closing the door, and she nearly she sees you and holds the door and says, "You're last to be on. Let's not make this a habit, ma'am."
It wasn't my fault. It was the traffic.
It's always the Florida traffic. She shakes her head, closing the door and locking it. Take your seat, ma'am.
She finds her seat. It is a window seat.
It is seat C1 on the left.
All right.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight 721 with intermediate service between Chicago and final destination New Orleans. We'll be pushing back just a few moments as our passengers get settled. Sorry for the slight delay, folks. We are waiting on one last passenger to board, and
New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude. Gratitude dispense.
Thank you. All right, and we are going to be contacting the tower and getting you guys to where you need to go very shortly. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Welcome aboard Flight 712 with service to, well, you know. I am Captain Kenny Williams, and we'll be departing just a few moments. And yeah. The mic just clicks out. It's just rambling on.
As Ella is sitting down, she looks at her fellow passengers and mouths the words. As she very quickly and quietly kind of sits down, puts on her seatbelt.
Yep. As you hear the engines roar up to life, and you just put on your complimentary headphones, and you just hear music. As the plane starts pushing back and moving to the runway, we cut back to the guys in the Harper's Tavern. Not tavern, you know what I mean. The
Penthouse.
Penthouse, thank you.
The beautiful penthouse. Very cool.
And yep. Harper wakes up and literally just bolts right out of bed. The sheets just go flop on the bed. He says, "I need some coffee." Gets up and starts pouring a cup. What is everyone else doing?
As Harper goes to get coffee, Ace is already awake, and he's like, "If you want espresso, you're gonna have to order in. I needed to dismantle the espresso machine for parts." And he's working on a set of boots that are like.
Of course he is.
He picks up the mug, and he's like as he's about to look for the coffee maker. He's like, Oh. Seeing the parts all strewn across like
Yeah, it's like,
the mini bar. He
I,
says,
I needed a pressure regulator as he's like
Ah.
screwing something into the boots.
fine. I'll just order room service. He picks up the phone. Deet, 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 deet. Hello,
Yeah,
welcome to Worlds of Event. Welcome to Heroes Tower. How can I help you? Yes, I'd like to order room service, please. Breakfast for looking over at you, Diamond Ace, and Jessica,
Oh,
who's still in the bed.
I'll have a bagel.
One bagel. Do you want cream cheese with that?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Cream cheese, jelly.
I know.
Just cream cheese, please.
And
Scrambled
as
eggs
if-
and bacon, and hold on, one moment. Go ahead.
And as if, and without hearing a sound, you just hear, just some coffee for me.
Caffeinated or decaf?
I would like the unleaded, please. Thank you. She says.
And a very large cup of decaf coffee, please. To go.
No,
Yes.
caffeinated. Caffeinated.
But actually make that buzzed. Yep. And they say, very well. We'll bring that right up. What room number? Yes, the top room. Got it. Thank you. Click.
Yep.
And at this point, you are Ella. You are barreling down the runway. Just to give you a heads up of where you are. So you are now in the air, and you're banking left towards the to leave Orlando and head your way to Chicago or Atlanta, and head home. And then we cut back to the team on the 5 minutes have passed, and the food's already here, and we're all sitting around the couch and watching the TV. Who's in control of the remote?
I just assumed Ace dismantled the remote for parts.
Okay, yep. So the
He
TV's not
has, but he-
working.
Okay, if you need me to turn, if you want the TV on, I can put it on, and he'll tap the side of his goggles, and then the TV will come on.
Yeah,
Because that's
and,
where the remote went.
and on the
That's right.
TV you hear something about another solar flare about to hit.
Uh-oh.
And the news report saying it's kind of like one of those EAS warning things, and on the plane, Ella, you're looking out the window and you see this bright light, just this wave of energy just heading straight for the plane as you're looking out over the wing.
Oh,
How do you react?
She
And-
immediately covers her because she's looking outside
Yeah,
as she's wanting to do. And she's
and
oh,
then there's a loud
Coming
bang.
to you live from
Hold on.
Worlds of
No, not
Adventure,
this.
USA, in
Give me one.
Florida. This is breaking news.
There's a loud bang, and then you just hear on the plane as we cut to the TV news report in the hotel. Hold on.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some important news regarding the recent solar flare and a report of an East Coast flight containing 121 passengers and 6 crew.
Really quick on
We
that.
want to
It just
warn our
happened.
viewers what you are about to see and hear from the cockpit voice recorder and tower may be disturbing to watch. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
So it basically mentions something about the solar flare hitting a East Coast jet that just left Orlando. The plane is in distress, and what you're about to hear from the cockpit voice recorder and the tower may be disturbing for some people to watch or hear. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
Uh-oh.
Mayday,
Mayday,
This
Mayday.
is EJ712. We have lost both engines and are losing altitude. We may be unable to make it back to Orlando International Airport. Repeat, we are going to crash.
And the on the cockpit voice recorder it just plays that quick little clip, and Ella, you just hear the seatbelt sign go on and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. Brace, 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 brace."
she gets into the bracing position, which I will not do because that is
Yeah. And
no.
you can see fire coming out of the left and right engines.
Okay.
And one of the flight attendants says, when this wave hits, is thrown from the front of the cabin, tumbles down to the back of the plane. And people are screaming now, like panicking, as you hear like kind of like the engine roaring and like the plane's pitching forward. And when you just hear doo doo. This is Captain Kenny Williams. Do we have anyone who is capable of piloting a vessel? My assistant in command here has we need someone up here on the flight deck. Anyone who has experience with flying or is capable of helping, please come up to the cabin now.
Oh dear. I guess I must go up there and help. She unbuckles.
Yep. As the plane's like shaking violently as you're like holding on to seats to crawl up.
She
comes to the door. The door opens and you see that the co-pilot is just unconscious. His head is smashed in and it's like there's blood trickling from his head. He is he's out.
Okay.
And the other pilot's like desperately pulling back on the controls. He says, "I don't believe we have any hydraulics, which is a bad sign. I need someone to hold the throttle and maintain altitude. I'm gonna try and set it down carefully."
I believe I can do that.
Mayday, Mayday. This is EJ712. We have lost both engines and are losing altitude. We may be unable to make it back to Orlando International
What do I roll to do that, dear heart?
I need you to roll a dexterity check.
Bank angle.
Is this just the dexterity check?
Just this dexterity check to see how stressful this is on the aircraft.
EJ712. Can you repeat that last statement, please?
Oh, jeez.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 3.
You grab the controls and you try to hold on to the... You have little to no idea of what you're doing. He just points to the throttle thing and you just push it forward and he says, "No, no, no, no." As you just hear... as you hear the audio on the system say, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain vertical speed.
Which direction? Back or forward?
I'm in control of direction. Just pull it back slightly. We need to come down on the ground slightly, but we need a little bit more thrust. He points like a little bit like near the middle and he says, "Hold it there and keep it steady. Maintain vertical altitude."
Okay.
And you can see up ahead the Megaton Tower just kind of looming in the distance over the parks.
Are we going to hit that?
I don't know. Just hold on. Obstacle,
Holding up.
obstacle, terrain, terrain, terrain. Pull up, pull up.
Well, I
And you can
imagine
just see this on the TV.
I imagine this is not unnoticed by a specific someone.
Yeah, you just hear a proximity alarm in your room.
No.
It wakes you up.
Well, actually, he's been mostly working all night and only
Yeah.
got an hour of sleep now.
Yeah.
He wakes up and goes, "Huh?" He has like this robot with the screen forehead that's just in his face. What?
The
What
aircraft is approaching at high speed.
I can see that. You.
The aircraft appears to have civilians on board, 121 in count, and 6 crew.
That's a lot. And then, of course, he goes.
The
"I don't think
percentile for
shield's
casual.
gonna handle that.
The percentile for extreme casualties is very high, sir.
Well, of course, if it makes contact with my precious shield, it may fizzle it out." He
And
quickly thinks.
Yep. Roll me an intelligence check.
Damn it! Why you to me? You know everything I have that's dice wise has been hating me lately.
I know, that's why.
Anyways, let's roll hesitantly.
Hesitantly. Ooh.
Well, he's very high on his intelligence, I imagine. Actually, I can just check. His intelligence. Please be good. Please have brain. Ah, yes, he has what would be called a brain.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to use my tablet. I feel like come on, real dice. I believe in you. Where is my dice? I'm gonna pour all my dice out and find the D20. Roll the D20 on a clear service that I do not have. A 16 plus 3.
All right. You the only thing you can possibly think of is to quickly drop
Actually-
the shields and reload them.
That wasn't a 16. I think that was a 19. Damn.
Okay, yeah, you know what to do. You have to power cycle the shields at the exact precise moment when the impact occurs.
And goes, okay then. I have a plan. I'm gonna practically reboot the shields, and just to help a little bit, he points to like a good large handful of like some of his like more just pawn like flying robots, and goes, "You guys, you're gonna fly in front of the damn plane and try to lessen the impact. What if we die? I make thousands of you at a time. Go."
They all fly off, and you're looking through the cockpit as you can see this like weird hexagonal dome up ahead, and the pilot.
Captain Pilot.
Yes, I see
don't
it.
think-
I see it. We
I-
don't have
we're
enough
going to hit it.
altitude.
You want me to pull up?
Obstacle. Pull up.
Do you want me to pull up?
I got it. He's like pulling back on the stick, and he's like, we've lost all hydraulics. And you hear an alarm go.
We're going to hit it.
He pulls out down the headset and says, "All crew, brace for impact." 500. 400.
Oh no.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30.
At the very last second, come on.
As you see, like a bunch of robots like rise up in front of the view screen, and the captain says, "What are those?"
And then the shield goes down for like just in time.
As the plane literally scrapes the top of the tower, knocking off like, just the logo sign, as it comes kind of like over the park. And there's a field up ahead as it goes and
And
tumbles.
luckily lands in a blank spot.
It
Yay.
lands in a blank spot, but the plane's gonna tumble and kind of like lose its left wing.
Yeah. You see
And-
one of the robots look at the ground coming, and just you see it quickly shrug before it gets absolutely obliterated.
Yep. And the plane's doing like a somersault into the air before it rests on its upside down in the field, smoldering and on fire.
Yay.
Seeing that on the news, Jesse will look at Harper and say, "Blip window."
He says on it as he like opens up like a portal with his hand.
I didn't know he could do that.
And she will hop through it and take off.
Yes, of
Blip
course.
just literally just hops through the portals like,
Mhm.
and then sticks his head through the portal and says, "You might want to come, Ace." You
Oh,
might need
absolutely.
to
He tosses what he was working on his side, puts on the boots, and like goes.
There's
to
a
the
ring
portal.
on the doorbell. It's like, ding ding. Room service.
Oh no.
Come back later. He jumps through the portal.
The portal shuts closed, and we cut to the inside of these burning aircraft.
Yay. The shields quickly go back on, probably too.
And there's a like a lot of like beeping sirens, stuff like that, and like kind of like the ear ringing sound effect as you wake up. Your legs hurt a lot. You notice that there is. You look over and you can see kind of a blurry image of the pilot just like
Oh, no.
hit. There's a line of red trickling down his forehead.
How much
And
death?
and a bunch of glass in his forehead
You.
from the impact. And you just
See,
hear
there's
crackling
other
over the you hear crackling over the radio. This is Orlando. Egypt 71.
Can she roll something to find the thing?
Perception.
Which character sheet am I using this?
You are
at this
using
point?
your hero sheet now
Thank you.
because you are now that. Which you
Thank
are.
you.
Mhm.
Oh, this is good. Oh, this is perfect.
Mhm.
I rolled a nat 20.
You
Yeah.
immediately. I mean, from your basic studies of like airplane crashes and stuff that you know kind of the layout of a cockpit for a 737, and you pick up the broken headset off the guy and just
put it on.
You slap it on. It's a little bloody, but whatever. And you put it on and you hear, "This is Tower EJ1712.
This is flight 712.
Dispensing gratitude. Gratitude dispensed.
EJ712. We can barely. There seems to be interfere. What is your status?
We have crashed. The captain is very hurt. I do not know about the rest of the crew or the passengers.
We are sending emergency. And there's a click, and then you just hear APU offline. APU offline.
She sighs heavily, takes off the headphones. Very carefully, she starts walking back. If she can get out of the cockpit, walk.
You're crawling out of the cockpit. The plane's upside down, so you're walking on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And you notice that you're a little taller, which is kind of weird.
I have a growth spot.
You look down and you notice that your legs are bent in a very weird way.
Ah, yes, digigraded legs, my favorite.
Am I wearing shoes?
No. You see paws. Very large paws.
Panic.
Huh? And she lets out an almighty scream, which I'm not doing on stream because ears.
And you just hear a voice say, "Ouch," from like behind the door.
After she screams,
Yep.
she tries to open the door.
Roll me a strike check.
Which is not going to be good.
As you hear like grinding of metal and kind of like, parts of it still smoldering and burning.
That is a 17.
17? Okay, cool.
Flat. Yep.
Yeah, you pull open the door and the door kind of like falls off its hinges a little bit from the impact, and you can see some passengers dangling from their restraints. A lot of them look like they're not moving.
Ooh.
Are there any still alive?
Roll me a perception check.
Of course.
Yep. Or an investigation. I'll take either.
I'll do an investigation.
Okay.
That's my higher thing there.
Mm-hmm.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look around and there's about like 5 or 8 passengers still conscious, but in critical.
Yeah,
the one that just cried out is kind of like, you can see like he has a compound fracture from one of his ribs.
Well, she's going to go and try to rescue these people.
The flight attendant is like near the door, and she just kind of, her head kind of cocks up, and she looks over and she's just wearily says, "Evacuate," as her head just kind of falls back down.
I'll come back for you. Let's get the critical people out.
Yep.
And that's what she starts doing.
Yep. And outside, just a few like yards from the aircraft, smoldering wreckage, there's a portal that opens, and out pops the first one to fly out is probably Queen Bee, followed by Blip and Diamond Ace. And also driving up along the road outside the park is someone in a Jeep.
Uh-oh.
And in the back of the Jeep is, I'll let Eric describe what they see. Go ahead, Mag. You see a plane crash. Yeah.
Oh my, that's not good. I better go help them. Those poor innocent people.
You pull
Do
off
I
to
have
the
anybody in the Jeep with me?
No, you are driving right now.
He pulls the Jeep off the side of the road and throws the caution lights on.
Yep.
And hops out and starts rushing down the slope to help.
Yep.
Is this outside the shield or within the shield?
Outside the shield.
Ah, yes.
And you can see like smoke rising from this inferno of a crash. And there's smoldering like what look like robot bits all over the place, maybe. Maybe they're parts of the plane, you can't tell. But you hear like screams coming from inside, or like, you can tell there's people on that plane that are needing help.
Don't know why, but I feel like these pawn robots just have like the freaking like the droid voice from like
Roger.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
That's all I can think in my head.
He rushes over to the nearest screams and starts trying to pry the metal loose so that he can try to get inside to drag people out.
Yeah, you go up to one of the doors. It is bent shut.
Wait, did the plane go through the shield? Or
Yeah,
is
it went through the shield, yeah.
But I mean, like,
It
he's
crashed on
outside
the
the shield, but he's interacting with the plane.
Yeah, but it crashed on the other side of the shield. So you went through
So
over the shield, through the shield, and then crashed just a few feet outside the shield.
Ah, fun.
Yeah.
And Blip just basically ported us outside the shield.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. As you see like this portal open outside, and you just see like people stepping out of it. By the way, Eric.
Oh. I'll have to ask later how that was done.
And
but for now, people need saving.
Yep. As you're trying to pry open the door, roll me a strength check.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
He has absolutely no strength whatsoever.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled an 11.
Yeah, this door is like bent shut from the impact. You're gonna have to figure out a way to open the door.
Here, let me help. I'm gonna run up to the door.
Yep.
As soon as I touch it, though, I'm gonna reflexively cast Mending.
Okay.
Which is kind of the manifestation of his luck powers.
Yeah.
So like,
which mean repair.
Yeah.
The spell's called Mending, but yeah, and he's basically he's reflexively repairing the door. He's making it unlikely that the door continues to be damaged.
Yes. Roll.
I don't know. Do I roll for this?
I don't know the spell, so
the spell itself doesn't have a roll. It repairs a single
automatic.
break or tear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the door kind of like you hear creaking of metal, and you think it's somewhere else on the aircraft, and you pry open the door, and the slide just goes and hits you in the face.
Oh, there we go.
Inside the aircraft, Ella, you can see one of the emergency slides just deploy, and people are coming in. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. You see people coming into the aircraft from the outside.
Oh, thank goodness.
What you guys see is I'll let you describe your character.
Okay. Hang on. I am going to go to her description.
Yep.
What you see is a 5'10" tall rainbow. She has rainbow fur.
Wow.
Blue eyes. She is a cat person.
With digigrade legs.
Hmm?
With digigrade legs, yep. The whole thing.
Something like that. Yes, yeah.
And she's in a trench coat, slightly smoldering.
Yep. She is in a trench coat. Complete. She doesn't have her hat on currently, but
No,
it's within reach.
Yeah. How do you guys react to this?
Oh my. So I guess cat people really are a thing. I'll have to study that later. But for now, people.
Yes, and you just hear like a little shimmer, and then Blip's right next to you, Ace.
Oh.
It's like, I got it. He just crawls into the plane and starts pulling people out quickly.
I'll help. I'll stay outside and help them down the slide.
Yeah, he just tosses like, well, not tosses, but like puts like the bodies as they slide down. It's
yeah, Queen Bee is actually flying around the ship. The dust from her wings acting like fire extinguishers.
Yep.
to the flames. It's her casting druidcraft over and over again to put out fires.
Yeah.
Cool.
You managed to put out the left and right. Well, the left engine. The right engine's still slightly on fire, but we'll get to that.
She's working on it.
Yeah. And Blip goes to the cockpit and says, "What about the crew? Are they?" He looks in and says, closes the door, tries to prop the door back up on the hinges. And he says, "About the crew and the captains, yeah, they didn't make it." He says to Blip. To
we should pull them out anyway. The police report is going to be very big on this one.
Very well, he says as he goes and grabs them and it's like he looks at the blinking lights and he says, guys, we have a left engine fire and it says critical. I'm not a pilot, but I know that means that everyone needs to roll a dexterity saving throw."
Ooh.
Oh, luckily I have a +1 in this.
A saving throw?
Yep. Dexterity saving throw.
Nice gods don't like me. I rolled a total of 5. Shit.
I didn't do well either.
I could have done better.
I had an 8, so
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 7.
And the B proves why she's queen. 26.
Dang.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
You managed to you notice that right at the last moment as you're putting out the fire, one of these waves of wind that you projected causes the engine to reignite the internal combustion manifold, causing the engine to explode as shrapnel goes flying everywhere.
Yep.
Can I?
Ace just hears, sorry.
Can I want to raise one of my tech gauntlets and as a reaction cast shield. I don't technically that only protects myself, but I'd kind of like to try to get myself between the explosion and the passengers debarking.
Yeah.
How you said?
Disembarking, yeah.
Disembarking.
Yeah, I will allow that. So, the shield goes up, the passengers who have left the aircraft are safe. I will say I'm gonna roll a D4 to see how many passengers didn't make it. 4 passengers have suffered severe casualties and have now been considered deceased.
This is surprisingly a grim thing for being a hero thing.
Well,
every hero story has casualties.
Well, yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yep. And Blip just starts blipping the last of the passengers out, and he says, "Oh yeah, we have a lot of bodies here, and yep, we better leave the scene before anyone you hear sirens off in the distance."
We've done everything we can do.
No, we
You
haven't.
all go on. I'll take care of the police report.
She'll, Queen Bee isn't moving. She's actually gone to some of the more critically injured, and her hands start glowing as she's basically, what it looks like is her performing CPR. What it is her casting Cure Wounds on at least 3 people.
Yeah. Cool. And Blip just walks over to her and says, "What are you doing? I mean, we need to go."
1 minute, and she basically does one more hard thrust on a woman's chest to give her CPR, and
it's the flight stewardess, and she just spits up a bunch of blood and says, "Thank you. Ow, my ribs. Ow.
Yeah, they may be bruised for a bit. And again, she'll go to the next.
She looks at you and says, "What are you?" As she falls unconscious again from the pain.
Trying to figure that out myself. And she'll, like I said, go to the next one and the next one, and then she will go.
Yeah, about 5 minutes pass, and Blip's just tapping his foot. So come on, as you hear sirens getting closer.
At this point, Ella is looking at everybody with wide-eyed wonder, and then she decides, you know what? There's something off about these people.
Of course.
And Blip just
only normal one currently is Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, Blip's like, okay, we need to go now. As you can hear the sirens and lights off, and see them off in the distance.
Go where?
He grabs your hand and says, "Come on, everyone." As he opens the portal with his other hand and just tosses you through the portal.
I'm not going through there.
Well,
yeah, she'll fly through going, sorry, to the cat.
Of course.
And, yep. Diamond
I'll-
Ace.
I'll-
Yep.
I'll go up to the
Open.
portal, but I'll look back to Eric and I'll say, I don't know, maybe you should come with us.
There has to be someone here to make a report. I'm the only one of a professor's stature that can do just that. You go on, do what you have to do.
Okay,
I'll
fair
take
enough.
care of this.
All right.
She
Thanks
just-
again for your help.
She'll poke her head through the portal and say, "You know the stewardess is alive and can give a report, right?" And then she'll pull her head
He's
back in.
unconscious, I'm not. Go.
Meanwhile, all that happens. I'll say this much, Meg. You do notice those parts that may look like robot bits are now gone. And slightly off camera, out of everyone's view, is these tiny little robots. Like they're all like little bugs, all hauling the robot pieces away like ants.
Yep. And parts of the aircraft too that are still intact.
Yeah, they're scrapping like random pieces as they all like quickly cut pieces of metal out.
Yep.
With tiny little cutters, and then just march away before anyone notices.
And Ella, you are thrown onto a very messy queen-size bed as you exit the portal. And Blip steps out of the portal, followed quickly by a woman with wings.
She'll touch down and kind of walk through when she gets through the portal.
Yeah. And
Ace will step through.
Yeah, the portal goes. Shh.
Hey, I was just on a plane, and now I'm here. What is going on, and why do I look like this? And she points to.
I'm glad you asked because I didn't want to say anything.
Blip's like, I'm not a professor, and we had a professor back there, but from what I know is we all kind of gone through this weird change. Did you see any bright flashes of light recently?
I went through one on the plane.
Yeah, solar flare.
Well, at least you had a plane to protect you, she says, her wings fluttering in annoyance.
I'm not sure it helped her that much. It's gonna say side.
I look like this.
As you guys
I
talk,
mean,
you hear like,
it's not the worst that could happen as you come on the screen, like on the TV in the room.
oh no. Like you hear like a little blip from like the little walkie-talkie thing that's in someone's pocket. Just here.
Ace might have it, so I'll pull it out.
Yeah.
What? Did you find another one?
Maybe. Yes, we
3,
did.
4. Yeah, that plane almost hit my damn shield.
Yeah, well.
Thank you for opening a hole.
Seeing as that shield was, built to disintegrate people, she says out loud so Fang can hear.
Well, if it hit the shield, it would have fizzled it out. Well, destroyed the shield. But if I made it, put more power into it, then yeah. No more plane, but, that's effort.
She nods.
That's effort, he screams.
So you're saying that I could have been disintegrated like.
We should really we should focus on the positives here.
Yes.
Positives? I look like a damn cat.
I mean,
Well, I look like a fox, so leave me alone.
I didn't say that I knew what the positives were. I just said we should focus on them.
I just sacrificed my own robots. Well, I can make those all day.
And Blip's like, well, I could do this, as he snaps his fingers and just like goes to the bathroom, comes back, and is like has a toothbrush in his mouth. And he's like, I forgot to brush.
I can tell. I can see you from here.
And who are you, sir?
You're talking about me?
Yes.
Yes.
On the TV, you can see this I'll let you describe your character.
Well, yeah, you see like all of a sudden like the TV gets fizzy for a second, and then you see his logo show up, and then you see him, and he just goes, As I am back, what? Like it's obviously it's live feed. Like he's in his workshop. He goes,
What do you look like?
He looks like pretty much a weird Finnick Fox hybrid between a person, and also wearing a.
He's a
fancy
Lombax. Like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. He's a Lombax.
Like if you look at my profile pic, yeah, not profile pic.
He's definitely a blue Lombax.
Got it.
I don't think he's blue, but yeah, fair enough. He goes, I am Baxter, and yeah, welcome to my park. Well, my newly claimed park. He says, well, like
claimed.
It's complicated.
It's really not. After he mentally snapped, she says, he built a robot army and took over the park. The shield's his. Says,
well, I did it within reason. What you're trying to do?
Reason? You're keeping people against their will.
Let's not provoke the mad genius.
Yeah. She says,
he doesn't care.
He's pulling a Leilana. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. She doesn't give a shit.
And Blip's like, well, I mean, there's also the fact that he pulls up like on his computer and says, yeah, I've been kind of monitoring the radio traffic, and there apparently is a lot of tanks outside.
The shield is up for a reason.
Yeah,
what reason?
The
government.
The AIA is government. The AIA is out there.
You probably didn't notice while you were flying through the air like a comet. But yes, there seems to be guests. Well, not very fun guests.
But guests nonetheless.
so
yes.
Here's what we're gonna need, she says, and she'll whip out her hand, and some catnip will grow into it, and she'll hand it to Fang. First,
weed.
You need to chill, she says, and it is actually catnip. No, it's the legit catnip.
Why do I want to? And she looks at the cat. She's looking at the she's looking at the catnip, going, "Why do I want to?"
Like the eyes get bigger.
Oh, I have a strong feeling that the villain's gonna use a cat laser to distract her later on.
Of course, thank you. A great idea. He's just like watching this, going, "Keep in mind, okay, I'm gonna write that down."
But she'll give her the catnip and just say, "You're just gonna need to calm down for a bit."
And don't
and you see Fang grab the is it a bag?
Yeah.
No, well, no, hers it's Druidcraft, so it actually like grows out of her hand.
Okay.
She's batting your hand.
Okay, yeah, she's batting your hand, going, and then you see what cats do when they're on catnip. Start to see her eyes just kind of get really dreamy, and you hear her start singing a song in French, which I cannot do.
I think you broke her, but anyways.
Well, she's calm. Anyway, we're losing sight of who's actually responsible for everything that happened here.
Yes, that's true. And
well, yes, that bastard. But either way, I'm very busy, and I think I got most of the things I need to get done. I think. Let me look. I got. You see in the background like a robot dragging a pile of like scrap that looks weirdly familiar, kind of like a plane, as it drags in the background.
Wing.
And Blip's like, "Where did you?" I'm not gonna ask, as he's like sipping his coffee now.
Yeah.
He quickly looks on something, goes, "Be careful about the coffee." He says, "Is while you're taking a sip, and all of a sudden you quickly see something scurry out of the coffee."
He's like, "Oh." He sets it down on the bar on like the table. And he's like, "Remind me not to drink that."
What? It's not. It doesn't have any germs on it. Blame your own freaking greasy hair for it slipping off.
and into your cup.
He says, "We need
They're
to
not
get.
the most
We need to focus. We need to figure out how to get to one, get everyone safely out of the park, or be able to leave the park safely.
Well, first, we have to get rid of those party poopers. If I dare let anyone out, they're probably going to either scoop them up or flood into the park like fucking water.
Yeah.
And that's no fun, is it?
Maybe we should maybe we should change our gears and focus on the real matter at hand, which is where your boss went.
Oh, he's probably far gone from here.
Are we sure he was able to leave the park?
Of course he probably was. I already sent some robots to check out for his signature. They couldn't find anything.
So he's not in his penthouse as he's pulling up like a camera feed.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Not in the under hub as he's like flicking through multiple cameras and he sees your like the backside of you. Oops, sorry.
I forgot to get rid of that camera. He says, well, you see something grab the camera, but you can't see on either feeds of what it is.
Yeah.
See some barks.
At this point, Fang has quieted down, and you hear very, very soft kitty snores.
Yep. And
I think you may fall asleep.
Well, at least they're not panicking anymore.
That was the idea. She says, you boys go ahead and plan. I'll be right back. And she'll walk over to one of the windows, open it, and fly off to her apartment.
All right.
He just goes, well, anyways.
Well, what if okay, so if he's left the park, I think what we might as well do, you know what, we need to find out what's going on here, and I think the answers are at Megaton Tower.
Ah, yes,
Agreed.
Megaton Tower. My favorite thing. I do love that thing, but not really. And also, its sign got knocked off.
Do you know anything about it, Baxter?
The Megaton Tower? You mean the
Yeah.
thing I fell off?
Yes.
Well, it's roughly based off one of my own schematics. I say roughly because, of course, the boss completely refused to run with any of the safety measures I put onto it.
Oh.
Blip just kind of like says, doesn't that ride use like hydraulic repulsors or something like that? It's like some kind of new technology or...
Technically, yes. But, of course, it is a knockoff brand of my own. Maybe because he was too lazy to put the expenses on getting it. He says, well, he picks up like a little plate that has an orb floating above it and goes, it's very impressive when it's used right. He says, well, like, pushing the orb around and it pushes the plate like they're connected.
Yep.
Then he puts his hand in between them. Actually, for a little project I've been doing lately, almost finished with, actually. He says, well, like, you hear him, like, working with something. I'm actually using my technology. About 2 or 3 times already. You hear a little zap. Ow! Like sucks on his finger. This one's very zappy.
I mean, here's the thing. It seems suspiciously like they were prepared for the Megaton Tower to react to the flare the way it did, as far as what we're capable of doing now. I think we need to get in there and find out what their plans are.
Probably. And also, apparently, another flare happened. And even with the shield in the way, the tower reacted again. A lot less, because the shield's in the way. But, that gives me ideas. He says, well, like, looking at, like, a smaller blueprint in his hand. You see it for like a second.
Hopefully they're good ideas.
And Blip's like, well, I was near the Megaton Tower, so he's like taking his fingers out and he's like trying to like create a portal. He's like, he's gonna roll to do that because it's an ability.
Be careful. Don't test your abilities out too hard. If you have
He
control over
he opens
them.
a portal and there's a loud like bang and like there's like water like coming out of the bathroom, out from underneath the bathroom door. Oops.
Hang on. My
You
character's been
teleport
asleep,
people.
so hang
Yeah.
on a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she continues to be asleep. That was a 6.
Yeah.
Damn.
She slept,
There's-
she slept right through it.
Well, we
literally,
may have to storm the tower the old-fashioned way.
And as you like watch Baxter work, you hear like a little honk in the distance and a little like car noise, and it goes, not yet. He's like a honk is like replied to him. No, you don't get to come out yet until I'm done. At least with like half of you, and I'm almost done with this one. Zap again.
Yep. Blip's like, well, we can't go walking around the parks looking like gestures to the cat sleeping on the bed.
I mean, this is an amusement park. We can just.
Well, I can give you costumes if you want.
Yeah.
Something. I'll do that after I finally get done. Finally. You hear him practically sweep whatever the hell like was on his table off, and you hear it like quickly, like you hear like a boot up noise, and he just goes, "Go with the others. That should be the last one for now. Not all of them done though."
Yep. And Blip's
anyways, I'll make you
like-
suits now.
Yep. And there's a knock on the door. AAIA, we come to investigate this room.
Oh no. Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
your
go to the
problem.
door and like click the deadbolt.
He goes, well, that's you. Well, it's obvious I need to. Give me a second. He thinks.
I think we
You
should
should probably
leave.
leave that room.
We should leave.
I can't believe I'm helping you guys. He's everything in my calculator tell me not to, but fine. He
Just
says,
like
well,
like banging on the door. AIA, open up.
you
Okay. So
you hear like swishing of water or something near the window, and he goes, "Jump out the window, all of you, and grab the
I'm
cat."
gonna go up to Ella and shake Ella. Come on, wake up. We gotta get going.
What? What?
We gotta get going.
Why?
The
Government.
AIA is here.
Problems.
Lots of problems, says.
All right, come on,
Either
out the
way,
window.
Jump off. Jump off
Are you
the
are you
balcony.
gently shoving her in that direction?
Yeah, I'm not gonna like push her out the window, but I am like moving her in that
Okay,
direction.
probably more like a balcony, but you hear something like
Ooh.
flowing water near the window, and you well,
Okay.
not yet, not that character yet.
Oh, not
That's
that.
supposed to be
Sorry.
That character shows up in a minute.
Yep.
You
I
got it
didn't
right.
stage it right. I didn't stage it right though.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we forgot somebody.
What, you?
Yep.
He's still back at the plane, talking
Yeah.
to the cops.
Yeah, they're like like asking you some like hard questions, like, when did you see the plane go down? Like what happened here? Why are all these people like? Where's half the plane? First off,
you haven't looked at all, but you look back to where like the plane was.
it's just
and you
the
see a good
skeleton.
portion- like you see like a good portion of the plane gone. You have no idea when that happened.
Like the engines are missing, like both wings are gone. It's just the front fuselage skeleton structure of the plane. Like they've stripped all the like the interior and everything out.
You didn't hear a noise at all.
Yeah.
You were looking over to like the authorities coming on over.
And they're like, sir, we're gonna have to ask you to stay here while we question some of the survivors. And they're like,
I
one
don't
of
think you'll
them-
get much out of them because they're all unconscious.
They walk over to one of the stewardesses. I'm gonna roll for this because the stewardess wakes up and says, "I saw a man, maybe a man, with rainbow fur, and they saved my life." As she passes out again, and what do you?
Things happened. Stuff and things.
Yeah.
Other things.
And one of the medical personnel says, "I think she's delusional from the crash, sir." As the guard says, "Well, we're gonna take you back to the closest hotel." Looks over at John. Where is that again? It's just outside the park. Oh,
I
okay.
just came from that hotel. It's the high rise. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. My apologies. Professor Eric Gunwin of Tallahassee, Florida University of Aerodynamics.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gunwin. Dr. Gunwin or just Mr.
Professor.
Gunwin?
I haven't earned my doctorate degree yet.
Glad you were able to show up here on this crash site unexpectedly.
I was driving along the road going toward the park when I saw the plane crash general area and the smoke rising. I had to stop and help. If I didn't help, I would feel bad about not helping, and I'm not that kind of person.
Well, glad you're here. And he says, did you see anything or anyone else?
I saw others, but the smoke and the fumes, I must have been hallucinating the entire time.
Can you describe them, please, as he pulls out a sketch pad?
One of them was, I believe, flying around on flittery wings, putting out the fires with some weird dust that they created. Another one was opening portals. I'm still not sure how that's physically possible.
This guy's like raising his eyebrow. He's like he's sketching these drawings.
In the background,
one of them had rainbow-ish fur and
fun.
I'm a professor of aerodynamics, not of supernatural. This is ridiculous.
He says, "Are you sure you didn't hit your head, sir?" As one of the technicians comes over,
no,
and
I absolutely said no,
looks at you with one of those like pen lights. He says,
"They came through a portal after I arrived, and they started pulling people out, and I was helping pull people out, and then one of the engines exploded."
What engine? He says, "There's no." And
there's nothing on this plane.
There's just a metal skeleton.
That was not like that when I arrived. There was smoke and ash, and there was fire everywhere, and there was one of the.
I'm gonna have to ask you, sir, to come to the precinct. We're gonna have to ask you some additional questions.
You can ask me here. I've got my bag.
I'm sorry, sir, but one of the men steps behind you and clasps some shackles on your hands. Says, "Sorry, sir, but you're the."
Serious?
While that happens,
we're gonna have to ask you to come with us.
One of
you're a suspect
the
to this crash.
Guards you see in the background are just like looking at something. I was wait a minute. He walks over. What the? And then you just hear him stop.
What is it?
Everyone looks over. The guy's gone.
And you just hear like a crackling radio on the ground.
And then, see, he vanished without a trace.
The crackling radio's on the ground, and then it gets dragged away by something.
See?
Follow that radio.
See that? I'm not lying. Now uncuff me, you hooligans.
There's a lot of weird stuff going around here. We're not going to uncuff you, sir. And I recommend you remain silent unless you would like to speak to your lawyer.
Oh, you'll be hearing from my lawyer, all right.
I'm sure we will. Now come along as he shoves you into the back of a van. Closes the...
At least get me my bag out of my Jeep, for crying out loud.
Someone get his damn bag. As they toss it, like, into the back of the van and then slam the door shut.
Yeah. One of the guys looks back and goes...
It has delicate equipment in it.
Boss, wasn't there, like, an iron frame of a plane? Like, the top half?
There's now nothing left. There's just, like, the indentation of where the plane crashed.
Where did that go?
Incompetent law enforcement, as always, and the worst ones here in Florida. This is why everyone calls Florida America's dick, because it's always full of weirdos like this.
You know what? As a Floridian, I agree.
As somebody who has lived in Florida, I also agree.
We all agree.
And so I mean, no offense to people who live in Florida, but yeah, this is just part of the story. Yep. So we, yeah, you're driving along to the precinct, and
can I have Mag roll a perception?
Go ahead.
If he doesn't mind.
Okay, perception. Let me see what I'm proficient. Okay. I have a bonus in this. Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And my bonus did me no good.
Oop.
Rip.
What did you roll?
Well, if I could
Mhm.
read this damn thing. I keep forgetting. If the little line is over the crook or the tail, that means the 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I rolled a total of 10.
Well, you look in the corner of the card and see little something, but you don't process what it is.
Yeah, as you're kind of like restrained to the bench.
Like you can't lean
Cars,
to see it.
the van's bouncing up and down, and your bag's just kind of like parts of the internals of the bag are bouncing out of the bag on the other.
No. Could you all be more careful? I have extremely delicate equipment in my bag, and you're causing it to bounce around. You break it, I'll charge you triple for it.
And the there's like no sound because like they're just driving and they're just bouncing over the road.
He tries to grab the bag and its contents with his feet.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Of course.
Well, you're restrained, that's why. If you weren't restrained, I would have just let it happen.
I rolled a 19. Huzzah!
Ooh, you managed to grab your bag with the stuff, and one of the guards like looks through the little slit window and says, "Whatever you're doing back there, sit tight. We're almost there."
Oh, I'll sit tight, all right. But then when I get a hold of your teeth, there's gonna be problems, mister.
He slides the slit shut and says, "Whatever."
And as you're sitting there, Mag, you're cuffed, right? Is
Yes,
he cuffed?
he's cuffed to the
He's
chair.
restrained to the wall.
You feel something crawling on your hand.
What the hell is that?
You're not sure specifically what it is, but you feel a tiny amount of heat around like the shackle, with a little, and all of a sudden the shackles are freed.
Well, whatever you are, little friend, thank you. That's most helpful of you.
As you see, the bag is like still there. It's like your equipment's like strewn across the floor now because the bag's been bouncing a lot.
Damn it! All of my equipment. This costed nearly $100,000 from the facility. Ugh. Stupid cops, all of them, every single one of them, perilous in their idiocy.
You hear the engine sputter out and come to a stop. You're at a stoplight.
Oh, I think there's more little friends helping me out than just this one.
And we cut back to us leaving the
getting ready to jump out the window. No idea.
Jumping out the window. And like Blip's like looking at it, he's like, I don't see anything. What?
You look down, and at first you don't process it, but then you realize there's water right there, and you're like on like the top of the building.
How is there water like? Wait, that's not. I'm not gonna even question it. She just jumps.
Just jump. You jump onto the water, and you quickly, like a slide, get slid down to somewhere.
Yep.
Fang is going to look down. Water! No!
Come on. He's like,
I'm
he's just
afraid
joined
so.
you.
All of her hair, all of the fur, kind of poofs out.
You want to be apprehended? Jump down the slide. The water slide. Just
Good luck.
go.
Ace will actually push her this time.
You fall.
For what it's worth, I'll cast guidance on her as well.
Okay. Do I roll acrobatics for that?
Yes.
Thank you.
You do get an extra D4 to your roll because of the guidance.
Thank you.
Rainbow cat plus water equals bad.
All I hear is, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
What?
That's 10.
I'll be right back.
no.
I'm being called away.
You just hear a bunch of like hissing and like screaming and angry cat noises.
Yep.
You fall
As
into the water.
Blip's trying to like grab onto you, and he's just being clawed in the face.
Don't let her scratch you. Just, you know what? Grab her and jump in yourself.
He grabs you by the tail and just pulls you through a portal into the water.
I'll straighten I'll straighten my suit coat, which has since been modified into like an armored jacket.
Yep.
And basically putting guidance on myself, and then I'll jump down.
Yep.
You guys get down. It's weirdly fun. It's practically a slide, but it's water and using current.
Yep.
to, like,
Yeah, the only
accelerate
person
you.
that's not having fun is poor Fang.
Yeah. You guys get
Yep.
raced away from the building, and eventually you get pretty much brought to the water area
Of the park.
And
Oh,
that was
makes
pretty
sense.
far away too, but you got there very quickly. And then you see the water all drop behind you as realize you're about to go into the water park's like large water until you get pretty much dropped off there as the water stops.
Yeah.
I'll look back at the water collapsing, and I'll be like, "Huh, literally a water slide."
You see these tiny little orbs roll past you and drop into the water.
Oh god, it's Morpha.
And then all of a sudden, something shoots out the water. Now you could show the image. And of course, I'll show a better image on OOC. So like you can get a better look at it.
There you go.
Or chaos.
It is kind of has chaos in my head when I was drawing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can see it.
Looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
You all of a sudden you see Baxter pretty much pop out the water himself in his flying machine thing and go, "Behold, overflow! I was gonna show them all at once, but you know what? This is one of my helpers. Say hello."
It's just waves with like a bubbly.
It doesn't talk.
I'll wave back.
It talks in robot binary. Well, actually, it talks in texts right here. He's just pointing at a screen he has on his machine, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Sacred Fang just kind of, again, she is now soaking wet. But
Wow.
still,
Unhappy looking.
she looks like a drowned cat.
Overflow, can you help with that? You see like one of the little orbs from Overflow float over to you, and all of a sudden you see it spin as all of a sudden all the water like shoots off of you onto the orb. Then it floats
Now
back.
you look like a fluffed cat.
Yeah, all the furs.
Ah, how cute. Anyways,
You think that
only
it's
problem.
cute?
It is
Well,
kind
it
of cute.
It was cute in every conceivable fashion.
Wait till I get my hands on you.
As your
I'm up
claws
here.
extend.
And I
Well,
recommend
this-
you don't do that. Overflow quickly looks at you, and you see like two like large sharp water tendrils rise from the ground, water behind it.
So Ace will step between them and be like, "Well, okay, let's talk about the plan we're gonna do."
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, the plan.
Yep.
Overflow, you can put away the tendrils. The tendrils go back down.
And
You hear a hiss coming from Fang.
Just don't piss off any of my park guardian. I don't know what to call them.
I like park guardians. That's good.
Yes, park guardians it is then. Either way, I have one or more for each area, except like 2 areas. I don't have time for that.
and
Either way. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yep.
What were we gonna say?
Blip's like, where was that other guy that was supposed to be here by now? He's like reaching his hand through a portal, and he's just like feeling around for
Are
someone.
you talking about that guy outside the plane?
Yes.
Although
Oh.
when he reaches by and grabs something, it feels insecty, and then he hears "ow, ow, ow, son of a."
Oh, sorry.
Watch where you put your hand. Anyways, he puts out like a little holographic screen out showing
She'll-
the view of one of his little robots, and it's in a
She'll walk
police
through the
car.
portal.
Yeah.
You guys can help him if you want, but I think my little helpful little workers got it all handled out.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the van, which is still at the stoplight, and you are now freed. By the way, Eric.
Yes.
All
You-
right. Let's
You see the little car door handle jiggle a little bit.
Oh. little fellas are working on that part now too, it seems. Interesting. I'll have to ask who built these.
The car starts moving again, and you fall on your back.
Ah!
Careful back there. You just hear a bang on the metal.
Quickly, we have a camera zoom in into the car.
Yep.
Learn to drive, you heathen!
These tiny little robots are working like ants all over the car, and you see one of them.
What are these? What are those?
No, it's within the car. No one can see.
Oh, within the car. I can't steer. Hold on back there. As you just kind of like
broken.
The car just the van just kind of skids to the side, and you just thrown against one of the side panels of the van.
You see 4 of them or so get to the axle of the car and start cutting the wheels off.
You hear horrible grinding sound of metal against pavement.
And all of a sudden, you see the wheel fly off.
Yep. And you're just like, this is van 1701. This is van 1701. We have a situation here. Repeat. We need backup.
As they're talking in the radio, you hear a loud like a voice was about to come through, as you can hear the voice get like eaten by static.
Yeah.
And you see the car door on your end, a mag, fly off.
The back door.
Oh,
van.
Wonderful. Simply wonderful.
You are still barreling down the highway at like, what, maybe 58 miles an hour? You're going to have to jump.
As a professor of aerodynamics, I know that if I jump in a precisely 3, 2, 1...
Roll acrobatics.
Hey, are we doing downhill?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I really do I need to roll acrobatics if I'm jumping and letting the centrifugal force of the van pull away from me and just land on my feet?
He does have a point.
Because I'm not actually jumping out, I'm just jumping up a little bit so the van rolls out from underneath my feet.
Yeah, he
I'll
does
roll
have
it anyway,
a point,
just to be
though,
safe.
Yeah, because you're
I
going
agree.
58 miles an hour, so
That's
like...
an 11.
You land, roll, like crouch roll, and you hear as a truck literally just swerves past you on the highway. You're now in a busy highway, active highway in the middle of the lane.
He gets up quickly and rushes to the side where the median is and sits on the median. Great. All of my equipment is damaged. I have nowhere to go. What am I going to do with myself now?
You
try to help somebody, and the Florida men cops decide that you're the bad guy. Lovely. I hate Florida.
You feel a little crawl on your hand. You feel a little tiny something crawling on your hand.
Oh, hello, little fella. I can feel you, but I can't see you.
As you look, you barely could see. You had to squint, but you see this little six-legged little drone thing.
Oh, a robotics. A small little... Who engineered you, I wonder?
It like has little yellow lights, but you see it like flash purple a little bit.
Aw, you're adorable, little tiny micro droid.
Eventually, you see like another one like accompanying it.
There's more of you. Are you all over my body?
Oh no, they're compies.
As you like say that, you see like there's like multiple all over you.
Oh, they are all over me. I wonder if they're trying to help me. Well, they obviously did help me get out of the van, and now the van's careening down the road doing 60 miles an hour with no engine whatsoever. So
There's a loud bang off in the distance as you hear like smoke rising from the highway.
Serves you right, you incredulous bastards.
You see the machines like quickly like look around. You see them all like form into like an arrow on your hand towards the park.
Oh, toward the park. All right then, let's make our way there.
And then remind me what your abilities are, by the way.
I don't think I have them yet. I haven't been exposed to anything yet.
Well, you were near the airplane crash, so yeah. And also your your hand. Oh no, that was Diamond Ace's thing. Sorry. Yep. But you're looking around and you notice that like your hands are glowing a little bit.
What the? Why are my hands suddenly glowing? What's this? What is this nonsense? I'm a professor, damn it. This is supernatural bullshit.
As you look at like one of the cars off a distance, and you just see it glow, like in your vision.
What the? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute, you wait.
What the hell is going on here?
And the car is just sitting there on the highway, like with the crash up ahead, and it's still glowing, like in your vision.
Hold on a second. That car is reacting to my hands. Does that mean that...
You start lifting your hand. And the car starts lifting into the air.
Wait, doesn't the limit have to be 50 pounds, and a car is way beyond 50 pounds?
Well, it starts like the metal starts creaking, and you can see the tires slightly lifting off the ground, but like it doesn't go any higher off the ground. It's just like an inch.
Telekinetic abilities. How that? You know what? I'm a professor. This is something to do with my mind. I'm not going to question it.
As the robots on your hand are like like eagerly pointing to the park, like the arrow's going as like one of the robots is like trying to like push you on the floor, like on the pavement.
Like one of them is trying, but you can't feel it until you see like a bunch of them start like forming.
All right. This way then. And he like, he walks across the now like congested street.
As you're walking, you start realizing you're not walking, you're floating.
Oh, you're floating.
What the? Am I levitating? Hold the bloody phone. I can levitate.
As you're like doing the weird like hand thing as you're like just floating like past, and there's this little kid in a car looks up out the window. Mommy, look, it's a flying dude.
I have become the aerodynamics. Huzzah!
I love how obsessed you are with that.
Swish! And he like takes off toward the park.
There's like a loud bang as like you just like fly towards the park with a sonic boom.
Ooh, sonic booms as well. Aerodynamics 101, here I come. Ha ha!
As you're making your way to the park, you see a dome up ahead, and we cut back to in the water park area.
Yep. The queen bee is fluttering her wings after being so forcefully grabbed by Harper because he thought he was pulling somebody through. So he tried to
He was pulling somebody through, just not the right person.
Now, please don't tear her wings off.
I didn't mean to. He says I'm still
Watch
getting
where
used
you're
to the...
putting your hands. He says while shaking his hand a little bit.
I can put my hands where I like.
That did not come out right. Anyways.
You know what I mean.
Do you not believe in consent?
Apparently not.
He's like looking at the cat person. He's just like, I mean, he's very tempted to pet you on the head.
Fang is like standing there tapping the foot, but the tail. You've seen irritated cats.
Yes.
You see the tail do the irritated cat thing.
He just pats you on the head. It's okay, Fuzzball.
I'm pretty sure they'll bite.
It's okay, Fuzzball. That's a way to get it
Don't
going.
worry, I get called Fuzzball all the time too. But anyways.
Fuzzball, you come back here, you portal-making maniac!
Trying to
Anyways,
catch me as he's like blipping around like the pool. Like
if you two could not kill each other for a moment.
he's like halfway through blip, and you just like grab him like through the other side of the portal.
I realize because I revealed to you Overflow, there's no reason I shouldn't just show you the rest of them. He says we're like face palming.
Let's get introductions out of the way.
He says we're pushing a button.
I didn't have time to get these set up, so give me a moment.
Okay.
When the DM is not prepared.
I gave time to. Yeah, I know.
Gave you these last night.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Where do you want to start off with?
Yeah. you see that basically you see like electricity traveling on the water in the distance, and all of a sudden you see this leap out of the water, and you see that. Can you zoom in a little?
Hold on, let me scale it down.
You also could have waited until I said something, but yeah.
Hit to screen. There we go.
And in OOC you can also see it.
Yep.
So in either way you can see it. But you see this thing on this like floating ball, and he goes, "This is the one that kept zapping me. Say hello to what was it called again? I don't remember. Oh yeah, Megawatt. Say hello to Megawatt."
Ooh, I like that one.
You may kind of like this
Based
one a little bit. You're both kind of fast.
Hold on a second. Discord's being a butt again.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
But he's looking at you, Blip, and just going, "You kind of inspired me a little bit, so I made that one." Its fingers come out of its like hand things and kind of waves. Most of these don't talk, thank God.
Yep. And he says,
But-
well, that's interesting. It's just like touching the shocking thing and he just absorbs the energy.
It kind of like looks back and touches you, and it's just a constant feedback loop.
Yep.
You're both absorbing each other's energy. He's like, "Okay, now. Don't cause anything bad." And then you hear in the background, "Yo, yo, yo!" And he goes, "Oh no." Now it's time for the trio.
Yeah, I know. I have to size it right. Give me a moment.
I posted it in OOC. But you guys look over. You gotta shrink it.
I know. There we go.
There you go. And you look over and you see these three.
God.
Just roll up, and you
Tank
see
shot and short shot.
you see these four roll up, and you see like Chilbro like does like a kickflip and goes, "Hey boss, hey bros." He goes, "Oh God, I forgot how obnoxious. I wish I made everyone not talk."
Well, that's what you get for using the animatronic in the urban section of the park.
Well, yes. Well, these guys run that area mostly, obviously. And then Tank Shot looks very bored.
And
Does anyone need
and Blip looks over to this one. It's like, "Oh, it's so cute." He hugs it, and then as he goes flying across the pool into the water with a really big t-shirt.
Careful. Don't touch Short Shot. He has a tendency to. Boom.
The t-shirt just goes flying into the air.
Short Shot's not very good at containing its air for some reason. But yeah, these are the three that run the main like merchandise sectors. He says, "Well, like face bombing."
What does this one do? As he's like pointing like a dripping finger at like the giant like metal one.
Inferno?
Yeah.
Inferno just goes, I have, well, pizza. He says, "Well, pulling it out." He makes food. All of them have.
Oh, you took PD Pizza? Really?
Yes.
The name like Inferno, I was expecting like Gouts of Fire, but pizza is also good.
Well, if it's spicy hot pizza, it might as well be an Inferno, right?
Yeah. You can also
do not understand any of this.
I'm not just taking over the park. I'm running it. He says, while waving his arms around.
I guess that's actually a practical way to look at it.
And also,
and she narrows her eyes at this individual.
Yeah.
He does not like this individual, not one little bit.
And as you guys talking, you hear behind you both a little clown honk and a bark.
Hold on, give me a moment to get this.
Oh my lord!
No! Oh no!
You're looking at a character chat. You can see it.
Give me a moment.
He needs a moment.
I see them.
Jeez, they're so
for
big.
The kids, and he goes, "And for the kids area, because I had to."
Snoopy and Honky.
That is
awesome.
I do love that.
You see this little clown in a little car, and you see this little like ice cream dog, and he goes, for the ice cream one, I used similar technology to this one." He says, while pointing to Overflow. You can't see any of the technology though, as it's covered in ice cream. I also made.
At least it'll keep the electronics cool.
and
You're not there yet.
Yeah.
Blip
Well, I'm
walks.
just saying, like,
Blip
out of
walks over.
character,
Blip
it's
walks over. It's
cool.
like, oh, I love its cute little banana split tail. As he just like takes his spoon and just sticks it in, and just go.
Don't worry.
Minty.
Like before anyone says anything, he goes, "Don't worry, it regenerates ice cream. Also, it doesn't feel pain." So
Ace will look at Honky and be like, "Okay, that's both cute and terrifying at the same."
it's like looking up at you, and it like honks its nose, but also honks like the car.
I feel bad for Scoopy though. You get a horde of ice cream hungry children. That's not going to last very long.
Of course.
Although in just because she feels the need to be revelrous, she's gonna ask, can Honky leave the car?
Well, I think he can. Well, yeah, of course. He says as like you see Honky get out of the car with his tiny little legs.
Yep.
Okay, that's even creepier.
Yep, and she immediately shrinks down to his size and hops in the car.
He quickly like looks over and like he does. It's like he like starts chasing around as you drive the car.
Just GTA Honky.
Yeah.
As Fang is seeing this, she kind of looks. Oh, that is actually a good thing that happened to me today.
Scoopy goes over.
I can just see it now. It's like a GTA DLC Honky edition.
You got Honky bad, man.
You got Honky, boy.
After a few laps around, she'll hop out and zoom back up. What Fang sees that everybody else except for Eric, who isn't there, has seen is she actually shrank. She just shrank at will.
Yep.
Scoopy like walks over to Fang and just barks. A very it's one or two barks, just a very happy bark with a little tail wag.
Aw, I think it likes you.
That's weird. Well, it's not specifically a dog, so well, it is a dog, but it's weird.
Okay. Do you have any more of these?
Well, I'm making more of them for like 2 or 3 more areas. The only other thing I made that took me so long actually was something else for Honky, but I have no reason to activate it.
What is it?
I don't want to push the button. I don't want to give Honky it right now.
Honky's like looking up at you like honka honka honka.
What are we doing?
I have no clue now. I think we were looking for a way. Oh, he points to like the Thrilla area, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe we should go look at the giant tower jutting out of the center of the ground over there in the middle of the park."
Oh yeah, you guys go there. Megawatt, that's your area. You go that way. All of you to your areas. He says, "Well, all of them disband, but you just see Overflow just dive into the water that it was in the whole time."
Cool.
I gotta make more of yous.
Yep. And Bliff's like, "Well, that was interesting." As he's like still chewing on like an ice cream spoon.
He's an insane evil genius, but I actually think he's got the park management down pat.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
If we can make him not evil.
That would be ideal.
Yes, that would be ideal. That's
Well,
the reason
we
why I
need to
want to punch
figure-
the ever daylight out of him.
He's right here, you know. As
I'm
as
right here.
Blip just like blips right next to you.
Well, yeah, you know what? He's gonna have eyes all over the park. It's unavoidable.
Yes,
Right.
it is unavoidable.
Right. Just so we are aware the military is out there.
Oh, there's that too.
There's a loud
Yeah.
there's a loud bang as you hear like a loud like echoing boom. And you just
Wow.
hear and on your
And
panel, Baxter, you just see a blinking light. Deet, 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 deet.
Oh, he looks on like his little drone cams as well that are of course attached to the mag.
They are now opening fire on the shields.
Ah, no. They're opening fire on my shields. Luckily, if I turn up the power a little bit, he says, well,
Wait. Can you get me a secure line to them?
You want to talk to them? Blip says, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, she pulls. She would. Nobody noticed because she doesn't wear it with the toga, and she went back to her apartment. She pulls out from underneath her outfit a set of dog tags.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's fair. Well, I don't have anything too specific. I could probably try to connect them, or he just like snaps his fingers, and you see two like flying drones with megaphones attached to them, attached to like a single mic, and he goes, "You can talk to these."
Maybe we should go to... And Blip just snaps his fingers, and you guys are standing at the park entrance where all these, like, these full-on army of, like, tanks and, like, military
That's a
people
lot of
are standing.
Yep.
He blipped everyone with the snap of his fingers.
Very impressive.
She immediately like drops her wings and kind of throws her coat over him. Like,
And Blip's like,
You could have warned people. He says, "Well, like
I can't help it.
You can help it. Anyways.
I can't control where I do that. It's like involuntary. Well, whatever. Well, just let's deal with this."
Anyways, you get to talk to them with this. He says, "We're throwing you the mic."
As it rolls across the floor.
She'll grab it.
It's like the megaphone system over like the park.
Yeah. She says, please cease shelling. And she'll basically say, "This is Lieutenant Jessica Rose," and she'll give her serial number. And she says, "Please, there are innocent civilians in here, and we are currently all safe." She says, "If you keep shelling," she points to Baxter, "I cannot promise that will end up being the case. I've calmed him down for now." And then
roll me a
persuasion?
Persuasion, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And any luck for me, Ace? No? Alright.
Oh yeah, good work. Pat her on the shoulder and give her guidance.
Woot. Alright, here we go. And it's a D4?
Yeah, D4 in addition. Yep.
Let me know what you get. Sorry.
19.
Ty goes to Defender.
Ooh.
So he's
It's
like,
a close one though.
Your serial number, yes, is good, but we haven't heard from you, and you were reported missing in action. Are you sure those are your tags? Says one of the generals, like from behind one of the vans, the jeep. We have orders to dismantle this park limb from limb. Well, not, and one of the general assistant guards says, "Not from limb, part by part. Part by part. We want to make sure that everyone's safe, but we've detected some weird anomalies in the park, and we're gonna have to contain it. So the shield can come down. We can make that easier for everyone."
"You're not tearing this park apart over my dead body!" He says, "Well, you can just hear him while he slams his hands onto like the controls of his thing. Nothing
And
happens.
someone shut that fur face up.
Fur face.
By the way, what is that thing anyway? It's an abomination.
Okay, I think we're done talking.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I flipped a coin. As soon as he says abomination, Jesse gets angry. And
both of us are angry.
Well, no, she actually shakes off her trench coat jacket and zoomed towards the general and basically
Right up
goes
to the edge of the
pick him
shield.
up.
Right up the... Well, the shield's in between you guys. They're outside.
She says,
you're inside.
She'll say, "Baxter, lower it quickly."
Oh no! Let's.
I like that because the shield's made of like different like little shapes. The shapes turn off and on, but not.
That's fair. Ooh, I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like as you zoom through, one that like shape like the shield like just a hole forms for you as you
Yep.
quickly go through and the hole closes.
And the general's just kind of standing there and like at attention. He's like, and she's like hovering right in front of his face, and he's like leaning in like over him. He's like, I'm not intimidated by your fancy little flutter bits. I've seen more stranger mutants than you.
Oh, that wasn't the intimidating part. And she grabs him by the scruff of the neck and picks him up and flies him over towards the shield. She's gonna drop him on it. if he yeah.
Like a very tiny amount of his boot, like just the rubber bit, like touches the shield, and you hear it.
And she said, and as she's holding him, she says, "You will stand down, and everybody will live. You do something stupid, and well, I may lose my grip, and I will roll intimidation."
Oh,
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
I'm gonna have to roll counter intimidation for this.
Gods love me. 25.
Damn.
Yeah. Nope. I only got a 12
for
that. So yeah, you succeed.
I rolled a nat 20.
He's like he just gestures to his man, stand down, stand down.
And she'll fly him over and set him down nice and gently.
Where
Brush him
his
off.
bare heel touches the pavement.
Yeah. And then she'll brush off his shoulders where his rank is, and she'll fly back towards the shield.
And she says, and he says, hate mutants. It's just under his breath.
Also, consider this my resignation. She says,
Ooh. And he says, nothing. And he's like, men, surround the area and keep an eye out. I don't want anything in or out of this dome, especially those. He points to every one of you.
As you fly back
You
to the
do
shield,
realize that we will find a way out eventually.
And we will, he says, we will find you and pick you apart piece by piece to figure out how and what you are.
I would like to see you try.
As you fly back,
Don't
like,
test
to the
me.
shield- Oh no,
he says.
As you fly back
He
to the
just
shield,
smiles.
Yep,
A
like
toothy
Baxter
grin.
looks at you, and he looks at you with a great grin as he looks at his screen. And as the general probably walks away, there a little blinking light on Baxter's screen follows to where he goes. Oh, I love these things, he says. Well, he like under like where no one can see, he's petting one of the little robots that crawl around.
Blip's like just like kind of like blips next to him, and he's like, "So what you looking at?" Leaning it like over like the pod, like looking over his shoulder.
Nothing too Pacific, he says. Well, he grabs one of the little robot things and just tosses it in your face.
Ow, ow, ow. Get off, get off. It's like
it just climbs up into your hair, and as soon as it climbs up to your hair, you don't know where it is.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? He's like
Don't
scratching his
worry.
hair, and he's like his hands are like
harmless.
like vibrating all over the place. He when he gets panicked, he vibrates.
She'll
careful.
touch down. She'll touch down and say, "Well, I bought us some time. Not sure how much, but
true."
Oh, don't worry. That General and I will have words later.
As the convoy starts driving away, but like the tanks and stuff are still surrounding the perimeter of the parks.
I recommend
Yeah.
not to agitate the little drone too much. It will bite you.
And like he just like pulls a finger out of his hair and is like chewing on his like glove, and he's like, "Stop it!" Flick, flick, flick.
We should make use of the time that we've got. That we
Exactly. And he says, "We need to go check out that tower and what they did."
Speaking of anything Pacific, he says, well, looks at another tracker. If Mag's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, I feel like a friend of ours is getting, a new friend is getting close. as
as the convoy turns, and you just hear one of the large turret from this tank just goes and point away from the shield.
Ooh.
And one of the guards stands there and says, "Enemy approaching, fast. Unidentified object. Prepare to fire."
As you're flying to the shield, you see the shield start opening for you.
Well, that's awfully rude.
As you see an army of tanks up in front of you. And one of them looks like it's trained its turret at you.
You see one of the little bug things attached to you quickly jump off.
Go, little friends, do your thing. I'll wait here for you. As he just stops, like, hovering above the ground, like 2 inches or whatever.
Unidentified flying object. You are trespassing on government property.
I'm not an unidentified object. I'm a human, you dolt. Are you just as bad as the cops in Florida? What's wrong with you? I'm a citizen, for crying out loud.
Citizens don't fly.
Some of us do.
He
it's
just
called
looks...
aerodynamics, you...
You simpleton!
He just like puts the megaphone down, shakes his head, and then picks it back up again. It's like, you're still trespassing on government-claimed property. We're gonna have to ask you to leave the premises immediately.
You can't claim property owned by someone else. That's
Under
just
the
the
AIA Authority Statute 17601-3-4.
I don't care for your statutes. Move aside. I have business to conduct inside that park.
You see that tank barrel that's focusing on you slightly shift as you realize it's not going to work. The barrel.
And the man says, "This is your final warning."
This is your final warning. Move aside or I'll dismantle your tanks like paper confetti.
Fire. There's a loud bang, and the tank just flips up on its end and just flips over.
You see the barrel
do you
fly
want to
off as
stand
it
aside, or
explodes
should I do the
itself.
next one to your other tank there next to you?
Like several of the army men are like scattering like ants.
They're worse than the cops. I hate Florida, honestly.
Fair.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much.
When I get back to the university, I am calling in for a transfer to Tennessee, where at least I know people aren't idiots. Ah!
And like there's like Blip just stands like next, like since the hole opened in the shield, Blip's just gonna blip through the opening right next to you, grab you, blip through, and he's gonna.
Hey, what the hell? Unhand me, you hooligan!
You blip through. The shield closes. Is as you guys.
And then he also is holding something in his hand, which is the general's cap. Just the hat.
Oh, you stole the cap.
And he puts it on his head and he's like, it fits me pretty well.
But Baxter lightly flies over and goes, "Well, you finally arrived and almost got shot by a tank."
All right. For starters, you, Mr. Fancy Portal Thing, you left my bag behind. Damn it! That's
He snaps his fingers and the bag just drops on your head.
Be careful! Be
With
careful!
that. This is $200,000 worth of equipment in this bag. You break it, you bought it.
Blip's like, I don't care. We have more serious pressing matters. And he points to the tower.
He grabs Blip by the scruff of his shirt and pulls him close. You're going to care when I rearrange your gullet.
I can rearrange your atoms.
So if we want to look for somebody to blame, that somebody might be in that tower.
Yes, and anyways, Doctor, please calm down. I can replace any of that stuff easily. He says, "Well, you see,
I'm sure you could, whoever the hell you are. What
see
is
one
this
of the
madness going on in the first place?"
You see one of the little robots that have been attached to you jump over to Baxter and onto his hand.
Oh, so you're the one who designed these little fellas?
Of course I did.
I don't know who you are, and nor do I care. What the hell is going on here?
You know, I've been trying to find that very thing.
Blip just
look at me, I am a cat.
Blip just blips out of your grasp and just like stands in the middle and it's like, okay, apparently everyone's never read a fucking comic book.
Let's
We're
go.
all
I am a
heroes.
professor. Comic books are not my thing. I
And
read
I am a
books on
detective.
science.
I am a detective. I don't read those kinds of things.
I've read some.
Good for you, Sis Blip. And it's like, we're all apparently given great power, and with great power comes, God damn it, I'm gonna say it, great responsibility.
Great responsibility. Yes, of course.
And right now, we're not
Very
acting
easy.
responsible. Therefore, we need to act
can
like
one act
adults.
responsible when one doesn't know what the bloody mangrel hell is going on here?
Act like a
let me explain it. The woman with the
wings.
Sprite wings walks forward
And puts like a vibrating hand on like a hand up to like Blip as he's about to say something.
Yep. She says, think about it this way, Professor, was it?
Yes, Professor. Eric Gunwin, nice to meet you.
She nods. Jessica Rose, former test pilot of the U.S. Air Force and former stunt performer for this very park. She says, we were affected by a solar flare. My guess is it rearranged our DNA. I don't know why we gained what we gained.
I vote to roll a history check on her name.
Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna message you, Mag.
Uh-oh, a whisper.
Ooh.
Oh, no, we're not whispering. Whispering's uncomfortable when you do it.
17.
There you go, Mag.
I recognize that name. I'm surely not that bloody old. Wait, what was her name again?
Jessica Rose.
Wee little Jessie?
She raises an eyebrow for a second.
I can't believe what I'm looking at. I haven't seen you in over 7 years.
It then hits you, Jess. This is your professor from your college years. In the academy.
She pinches the bridge of her nose. Huh.
You know, I still have your doctorate's degree in aerodynamics and cultural physics over my desk back at the university. It is your prized possession, after all.
She nods, although I try not to. It's a little easier to make money when people don't think you're smarter than they are, ironically enough.
I could not care less if you were more intelligent than me. But to see you, little Jessie. How is the boyfriend?
Gone.
Oh, my condolences.
Nah, she shrugs.
Since you're the more sensible one here, why don't you inform me of all the goings-on before I go psychotic and lose what little mind I have left? I've already been accused of for a plane crash and was thrown into a cop car, taken to a precinct before these little fellows right here, tore the thing apart, and I was forced onto the highway, and then I had to go and learn that I levitated toward the park. I have psychic powers I didn't know I had, and now all this rambunctious little hoo-ha is happening. What is going on?
That is a very interesting word.
Meanwhile, Blip's just sitting, like, leaning up against the wing of your little pod thing, Baxter, and he just materializes a bag of popcorn from, like, the nearby, like, concession stand and is just eating it.
She takes a deep breath and says, well, from what I can gather, those of us that were higher up got the more physical changes. Myself, I guess, our cat friend over here, and poor Baxter here.
I was the highest up as I was on the top of that tower over there.
She shakes her head and says, yeah, sorry about that, buddy. No, well, technically, she was. She points, or I can't. I don't know. Out of character. I don't know.
He looks over and goes, "About the same height, actually."
So what you're telling me is this common phenomenon of solar flare activity, which happens roughly once or twice a month on the sun's surface, somehow lashed out a large enough energy spectrum to crash into the planet, changing all of our DNA and only a select few for whatever purpose. And now all of us have superpowers that we can't physically explain? Is that what I'm getting here?
More or less.
And Blip just snaps his fingers and says, "You got it in one, Professor. Give that guy a certificate for promotion."
Although
I'm still not right in the gears with you, Mr. Blippy Fancy Teleportation Pants.
The name is Harper West.
I don't care what your name is. You may have grabbed my shoulder with one hand, but you grabbed my posterior with the other one, and that was very uncomfortable of you.
Did I not say consent?
Professor, my thought is they were guided. They were drawn to this location, to this area, by, she points to the tower.
So you're saying that this transformation, albeit was intentional for whatever purpose. Fancy.
And not to speak of the hazmat people that showed up almost right after it happened.
Oh, you mean those military assholes? I care not for their dilemmas.
No. Blip says. He pulls up like a video feed on like one of the leans over and pushes a couple buttons on your console.
He quickly slaps your hand.
And on one of the little monitors, like in one of the little kiosks, comes up like a video feed of like these people in hazmat suits with the words HARM stamped across the hazmat suit.
I have never heard of these people before. Who are they?
I have no idea.
What a weird name, HARM.
My 46 years of being a college professor and did not prepare me for this nonsense. I need a coffee right now, triple shot espresso. Please and thank you. My brain hurts.
Blip just materializes a cup of coffee next to you and it's like, "Here you go, Professor."
Thank you, Mr. Blippy Bats. And he grabs a cup and just downs the whole cup.
And it's
ignoring the heat at all of the coffee.
And Blip's like, "It's not Blippy Pants, it's just Blip."
I will call you Blippy Pants if I so choose to.
What are we calling you?
She'll actually, real quick, she'll say, from what I can gather, she'll point to Blip. Quantum tunneling, perhaps?
Quantum tunneling is just another variated form of aerodynamics on a different plane of existence.
She nods, and she points to Baxter. Hyperintelligence and furry transformation.
So many calculations, he says while putting his hands up on his head again.
My grandson would love you, Mr. Baxter.
Oh.
And she kind of squints at Ace and says, "Best guess, hyperintelligence or probability control?" She shrugs.
Not mutually exclusive.
It is surprising how lucky this one is.
Let me guess. You're capable of avoiding all kinds of adverse negative situations that would otherwise put a mere mortal in harm's way, correct?
Yep. I've also been able to cobble together.
Are you male or female? I can't judge by your body character.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'll lift the goggles. I'm like, I'm a guy.
Then I will call you Lucky Boy.
Oh, okay.
I
kind of like that.
Well,
goggles down slowly.
Her, I would think some kind of were-feline. Lycanthropy, perhaps.
Well, it's not too far off from some of the studies that I've done of ancient... What was it again? It was ancient Egyptian, I believe. There was one of the ancient Egyptian gods that was a mortalized version of a cat. I forget what her name is. She's a goddess. This might be some sort of rendition of that particular situation.
Don't you mean a sphinx, Professor?
Sphinx.
No.
No, the Egyptians worshipped cats. And I forget which goddess.
They did worship cats. I think the goddess that you're thinking of, Professor, is the goddess Bast.
Perhaps. But this may be a case of that manifestation in modern terms. But you, my dear, I'm trying to... You look like a wood nymph in myth.
She nods. Not just that, she says, and she'll gather a yellow ball in her hand. It's her equivalent of her bow, but it's her... she says, solar collection, apparently. And she'll fire it off towards a wall.
And the wall, like, there's just a scorch mark.
Yeah, it's her dart.
I am not even going to try to understand that one.
That's not the only thing, she says. And she says, also, well, she just says, this is better seen than explained. And she will shrink down to the size of one of your little drone friends fluttering around.
So, molecular resizing, compository wings of an insectoid nature, ability to gather light energy. I get the feeling you're more closely related to some kind of mythos druid.
Interesting. Oh, you also grew catnip, but that was its own thing.
I would think so, because druids are able to manipulate nature energies, and that's pretty much what she's doing. So
she'll grow back up, and when he mentions the catnip, a daffodil will appear on his little like out of the metal of his little cart.
Hey, he says we're like kind of pokes it. Weird. How did you do that? He says
I suppose I should give myself a name then. If we're going to be going by names, then, since we're all apparently, he does the air quote, superheroes. Ugh, to think that I would ever be a superhero in my lifetime. Bleh.
What?
Very well.
Was that not something that you always wanted to be?
No, unfortunately, I wanted to be a professor of aerodynamics from a very young age, as I was thrilled by the speed and accuracy of combat-based jets like the B-1 bomber and its aerodynamic skin texture over its metal surface.
And as you form that long string of technobabble, you see Fang's eyes just kind of.
From a very young age of 8, I always thought that aerodynamics and wind pressure, such as sonic booms or varieties of shapes that how different kind of aerodynamic texturing, such as cars and trucks and vans and trains, always thrilled and excited me. So I went to school to learn aerodynamics. I never once touched a comic book. I had my face stuck in science books of all kinds.
Blip's like, textbooks, bleh.
I mainly had engineering in my face.
Ah, a fellow engineer then. Wonderful.
Very good.
I'm an inventor myself.
Oh, then I would have wonderful conversations with you as well. But
It is
for myself, I
interesting
suppose I must have a name.
Unfortunately,
Very well.
that
I
what
shall
all these
go
people
by Professor Encephalus, which is basically Professor Brain.
Oh, I like that.
Because Encephalus is the Greek and Roman word for mind.
Nice. Well, that's a good enough name, he says, still struggling.
But what do we call her? Points to the furry person over there.
Didn't she say her name was Fang?
No.
No, she hasn't mentioned her name.
She has not mentioned her name.
Yeah.
I heard the word fang being thrown out. Is that type of reference to your teeth?
You could be
Because if it
hallucinating.
is, then your teeth are probably very big.
Can she? I think one of her powers is going to manifest.
Go ahead.
She is going to stealth.
Like we look over.
Oh, come
Go ahead,
on.
roll.
Speaking of cats, I'm going to hug my real life cat.
Aw, cute.
Can't really hug her right now.
That
but
is
I
a
mean,
22.
Nice, very nice.
We all look around and like, where is she? She
Baxter quickly goes. I think he quickly looks at his console. Oh, weird.
Hold on a second. Did she just vanish?
Either that or she's invisible.
Same bloody thing.
Well, I tried to say she isn't too far.
Do either of you, the professor or Baxter, do either of you have something like something little or small in your pockets?
I would not know.
Well, I mean, you're a professor. You should have something small in your pocket.
He would probably have some sort of measurement device used to measure air currents.
Okay. And Baxter, do you have something like small?
We'll say for now probably a random ass screwdriver.
Okay.
Like a little collapsible screwdriver.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hello? Did Discord die?
No, Discord did not die.
Okay.
That is a 19 on sleight of hand. She just took something very small from you, Professor.
Hold on a second. My pocket just moved. What the? Where did my oscillator? Where'd it go?
A cubes, explosive cube oscillator. Sorry.
My wind oscillator. What the hell?
That's
Okay, who took my oscillator?
And she is going to appear behind Diamond Ace, holding up the oscillator in her hand.
Wow. Impressive.
Give that back, you ruffian!
Ruffian!
I didn't take it because he doesn't know that Fang's behind her. Behind him.
He flicks his hand and levitates the oscillator off your hand and pulls it to him.
I do believe I was making a point.
Interesting.
You were barking about consent earlier, and then you take my oscillator out of my pocket. That's theft! How dare you!
Well, that's weird.
You were the one not paying attention, Professor.
It even confused my drones a little bit. Even if they're attached to you. The tracker mostly tracked you, though. Of course, I have no idea what you're doing otherwise.
It appears that I can disappear and maybe, I don't know, confuse an enemy for being very quiet, given what I am.
Ah, yes. Interesting.
Wait a
I
minute.
imagine you also have an aspect of living quiet.
This reminds me of an old TV show I used to watch with my father, because he was very into the whole hero movies. I believe the villainess was named Catwoman? And she was adept at dealing things and being mysterious? But I can't remember exactly who. It was so long ago. I was only 10 years old. Perhaps? Maybe?
I
don't
see
quite
Baxter
remember.
squinting and typing on the keyboard.
I will not be a Catwoman.
I am in my early 60s. I don't need this bullshit.
Baxter types in. He's like, Like he sees the images of Catwoman. He just closes it.
That's
Anyways.
nope.
Guessing he found the Tim Burton Batman.
Oops.
Or Tim Burton Catwoman, I mean.
Yep.
Found the wrong one.
Like you see his eyes
That's
like
not it.
you see his eyes widen and like he narrows. Oh, he just clicking closes.
Anyways.
Blip's like, well, we should get to that tower before sunset. It's getting late.
Yes, let's
forget
go
about
to the
that.
tower. We're wasting our own time.
Wasting our time for what?
See you there.
And,
I will have to ask him how he
Tower!
does
And
that.
Ace is gonna be like running ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
Let's quickly get going.
He says, "We're flying, just flying in this vehicle."
Yep.
Yep.
Just before you go, Professor, she leans over and goes, "Call me Secret Fang." I think that fits, don't you think?
Perhaps. But Baxter, before you leave, a moment.
What is it?
He quickly stops.
Those little drone things of yours, the tiny ones, would you mind covering my body in them? If I have to use them, I would like to have them on hand, if possible.
Don't worry, I have plenty of them everywhere.
He says, "We're pushing a button," and you see like some of them like all over you, like blinking on you. But you also know they're blinking on Fang as well.
Just
I've already took the. I have already.
well, if you could use them to cover my lab coat like a cloak of sorts, that'd be wonderful.
He says, "Well, like pushing one or two buttons, and they
He
like
wants
all
it.
like move."
He wants a cape. She says as she
Not a cape, a cloak, like a hooded cloak, like in the Lord of the Rings movies.
You see a bunch of more of them show up, and they all lock together.
Excellent. And he like levitates off the floor and starts like floating
Impressive.
toward the tower.
Well, either way.
And she's gonna go to a high wall, push off, and zoom past the professor.
Blip's already just standing like at the bottom of the gate to like the ride. And he's like, it's been like closed off, like because when the drop happened, whatever. So they kind of like shut down the ride.
Sight. Baxter says, "We're pointing where he fell."
Oh yeah, Blip's looking at it. It's like, yeah, I can still kind of see the.
This is the first time I actually looked.
Is this where you all, most of you, acquired your powers?
I acquired my powers over there. He points to like the roller coaster.
I fell right here.
He says, "Well, pointing," and you see like there's a bunch of like you can see he landed practically directly on top of like a power box.
She'll point. Queen Bee will point to just above the amphitheater.
And I was a bit further away. I was at the inventing pavilion out that way, and I point like way down.
I was in a motel.
We were all in different places.
Very interesting.
I was nowhere near the park at all when I started having weird moments of extra perceptional paranormal activity. Or whatever you want to call it. I haven't. No, I don't know.
Baxter picks up the little panel door.
Well, Blip's gonna like pull open the gate, and he's like, "Well, we have to." Never mind. I could just do this. He just flips behind the barbed wire gate.
He picks. You see him pick up like he gets off his flying thing, and he picks up like this little panel that was attached to the box he fell on, and goes,
"Wait a minute, that's not a power box."
And it says AI panel.
Oh yeah, I forgot this thing had an AI to manage everything.
He's just getting back on his flying thing.
She'll basically she'll hold her hand out and kind of squint, and she'll try and shoot off the chain. Where somebody will take a gun and just kind of aim away.
Yeah.
Fire. She's doing that with her.
Yep. The chain just falls to the ground.
No wonder this thing is horribly broken now. I fell directly on the AI box that manages this whole machine. And probably the other
AI
machines too,
box,
actually. Well,
the
most of
professor walks over to the AI box on the ground.
it is
Horribly crushed.
Yep. It is unrepairable.
actually. I think it actually controls more than just this ride. It controlled a good handful of rides. It was just put here for some reason.
Well, perhaps it's unrepairable, but it may be salvageable.
Blip's
And he reaches.
Blip puts her hands up and says, "Hold on." He puts a hand on it, and his hand starts vibrating kind of in a sort of rhythm, and he says, "This thing is giving off so much energy, yet it's powered down. Why is that?"
That's weird. Well, it won't be functional. There's no way you can use it as a ride, obviously.
Still, it's drawing power from somewhere. He looks up at the top of the tower and he says, "Perhaps this isn't a tower at all."
Fang will go, let me... If that is not what it's supposed to be and you landed on it, let me do a little investigation.
Careful, there's a lot of energy pulsing through there, so just don't... We don't want to have a... Sorry, Fang, but we don't want to have you flying across the,
I will take care of myself. I had a 21, by the way.
Well, she's investigating. Blip, you're capable of matter manipulation, correct?
To a degree, yes. I don't know if what you...
This thing is still still attached via a cable, right? So it's pulling power from somewhere. Can you sever the box's cable and just have the box itself?
You want me to disconnect the power source from the regular... He's looking at the box and he's like...
Disconnect the AI's box that it's contained in away from the power cable so that I can investigate it.
Alright, I'm gonna, roll, and I'm gonna, tell you, Baxter something when I roll, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna take that. Alright, give me a moment.
Why do I feel like the AI's in Baxter?
I don't know.
While you're writing that, Blip, did Fang discover anything?
Hello.
Yeah, she discovers that, if she were to try... What are you trying to look for, actually, now that I have to ask? How this thing works, or, like...
Well, honestly, she was following the cables. I mean, if this is a box...
Okay, the cables are actually, instead of going up, some of the cables are going up to the top of the tower. The rest of the cables, the majority of them, are going down underneath the concrete.
Okay.
Interesting.
She comes back. So this is really interesting. If this is supposed to control different rides, one of these is going straight up to control this ride, which is normal. But the rest of these
conduits
are going down below the ground.
Probably to the underhub, he says. You know, like, a lot of these rides are controlled from a main control computer, from what I read.
Yes, but if they're all being routed through this particular AI...
Maybe it's a junction box for the AI, or a backup... I don't know. I didn't read a lot about it, but, you know.
Either way, are you gonna disconnect this thing?
He looks at it and says, well, there is a lot of power surging through this thing, so I don't recommend doing that, but if you want me to, I recommend you all step back.
Well, it's what the professor said. I don't, for some reason, personally, I don't think it's a good idea, but do it if you want, he says while shrugging.
He looks to the professor.
Just be extremely careful when you portal sever it.
I have a question. Being that at least B's working hypothesis is the solar, like a targeted solar flare, can I make a nature check to see if it's radiating solar energy, because, you know, she manipulates it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
$14.
14. Okay. It's kind of vague, but, like, you definitely can guess that, like, it's definitely giving off some kind of energy. Maybe it's solar, but, like, it's definitely some kind of, like, cosmic radiation of some kind.
Yeah, She kind of looks at the professor and looks at Blip and says, "Honestly, I don't think you're going to power it down by severing it, but go ahead."
He says, "Okay, stand back." He's going to
The
roll.
professor floats backwards away from the
Well,
box.
you guys do that. I'll check the undercub. He says while pushing a button, and there's a part of the ground opens up.
Yeah. So he severs it, and you just hear like kind of like the ride start up and go. Welcome to Megaton Tower. Ride systems online. All patrons, please get ready. As the chair restraints start lowering. Well, maybe I think I put it into test mode.
What did you do?
Good or bad?
Test mode is good. We can see what it's doing and where it's pulling from.
Getting a text.
Okay, give me a moment.
Oh, can I whisper to you if you're not paying attention?
Well, whatever it is, it's not any normal energy.
That Baxter pops his
head out. What did you do?
Ride system online. Preparing for drop. As the ride vehicle starts raising up into the air.
He puts his hand on top of like his head. Can you disconnected it, right?
I think so. It's going through its test cycle. What do you want me to do?
Well, nothing's wrong.
The professor picks up the box.
5.
Ow, my head. Oh, my head's hurting all of a sudden again.
And you can just see like the meter on the ride just kind of like indicating like a high power surge. Warning. Warning. Power surge detected. Initiating E-stop. The ride is like halfway up the tower and it just
Now that the box is disconnected.
The box is still actually running.
Are we sure about that?
Alright. Let's see here. As you like prise the box open.
Are you sure you know what you're doing, Professor? That's a lot of complex mechanics in there.
I have worked with complex machinery before. I did take about 13 years of mechanics operations as well as power surge detection equipment. Let's see here. Oh my.
Well,
this is certainly interesting.
You realize what this thing is. It's actually a... I'm going to message you. It's a... There you go.
I am a little shocked at this. Why would a ride at a theme park be using such advanced NASA-based equipment?
NASA, you say?
He says, well...
Yes, it's a cosmic focal antenna. This should not be here.
Like I said.
So you're saying someone built this thing and disguised it as a ride attraction so that...
Solar Storm Lightning Rod.
No wonder they, didn't go fully on my design. They're just using it as a front.
So, hold on.
Front for what?
Blip, before you disconnect that final cable, don't.
He's like, his like hands like shaking violently. It's like he's about to like saw the last cable.
No, stop. As he telekinetically grabs his hand. Stop.
What?
We do not want this park to go nuclear. Just wait a minute.
He says, "Oh, that's why there's so much." His hands on one of the box cables. And he says, "That would explain the amount of energy surging through this thing. But where's the power source?"
The power source is cosmic radiation. It's a focal antenna for cosmic energy that's being pulsed through our planet right now. It's literally charging out of the air. I've only seen 2 of these in my lifetime, both of them inactive. With this one, I can't believe they actually got it functioning. It shouldn't be possible that it's running at all.
Under a park of all things, too.
The fact that it's even powering a park to begin with is beyond scientific method understanding. These kinds of antennas are not meant to power things, they're meant to detect radiation, and only detect radiation. This is ridiculous. As a professor of aerodynamics as well as solar radiation detection equipment and a manufacturer of various permits, this is unacceptable.
Interesting.
I will be finding out who built this, and I will be cramming my words down their throat. This is dangerous.
That would probably
Everyone
be
in
the
this
old
park
owner of
is
this
in
place.
danger of this mechanics. Everyone is in danger. Not just us, but the people too.
He looks around and he's like, by the way, where are all the patrons of this park? Looks to
I
Baxter.
have no idea.
Don't worry. As I understand, probably my robot masters. I forgot what we decided to call them.
You mean your assistants?
Park Guardians?
My park guardians are probably taking care of them.
I hope that they're being nice to the patrons.
I don't like the way you said taking care of them. I ought to slap you for that.
No,
Stand in line.
Right. All right.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Now,
He
let's
says, well,
see
like he's
what
holding
we can
his.
learn from this antenna alone. Hi, little fellas. Get in there and do your job. As he puts his hand in there with all the the little little robots all over
quickly
it.
disconnect.
Here's what I'm gonna do for you, Gearbox.
Mm-hmm. What is the issue? Did I do something wrong?
Uh-oh.
Boys, I'm
There
dead.
you go. Nope.
Ah, yes. Care to continue explaining to me
On.
by text?
Right. Well,
all right, there you go. Gearbox.
As you see the robots go in, and as you see them go in, every now and then as they go in, you hear like a little pop, like a random, and you see one of them crawl out, but the little light on them is flashing red, and before it stops working.
Oh dear. Baxter, what are you seeing on your console over there?
Well, give me a moment.
He seems a little out of it. What did you just say?
I injected the little nano droids that you created into the AI box to see if they could learn anything from it. They're obviously your nano droids. Your console is responsible for seeing what they see. What do they see on your console?
He looks. Oh, that's. Well, does someone want to roll a perception?
Yeah, sure.
This is. They're. Weird. They're. He's like squinting. That's no good.
7.
As the robots start
No. He quickly points, and you look over, and you see the one that crawled out. It starts flashing red again, and it gets up. Uh-oh.
And the flashing is getting more intense. Blip's like,
all of a sudden, the ones that got in are crawling out, and
they're all blinking.
They're all blinking, and they all start approaching everyone. That's not good. You hear him rapidly typing.
I've got this. They're small. They don't weigh that much. As he wraps them all up in telekinetic energy and holds them in a bubble.
About that. There's a loud flash as the bubble expands, and I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom?
Yep.
Yay! I have proficiency in this.
I don't.
Neither does Blip.
15.
Neither do I.
Oh, no.
I rolled a 6.
Let me roll.
I rolled
a 3 with a negative
it's not
1
necessarily
as
a bubble.
2.
He's actually levitating in the air.
Okay, I need to roll good here.
Yeah,
roll good. Because I keep rolling, but I keep getting distracted by objects on my table. So let me clear things.
I had a 2, Kenny.
I rolled a
what is
15.
everything? Get out of
I
the
rolled
way.
a 4, so you're in
You roll
good
for real.
friends.
I got a 12. I got a 12 plus 3.
Okay, so you succeeded.
So both me and him succeeded then, right? Because I
Yeah,
rolled
you're
15.
still up, but like your ears are ringing and stuff like that. Whatever this.
Yeah, Queen Bee got 16. So.
Okay, you're good. You managed to like kind of like vibrate your wings and kind of like a shield, but your ears are still ringing, and you're knocked backward, and you actually shrink down to a small size as you're like thrown against the ground.
Did they explode or?
They exploded, but it is a sonic explosion, like the psionics level.
So they
that
didn't
are
destroy themselves.
No, they destroyed themselves. But the thing is, they're vibrating
It was a
at a
hypersonic explosion.
hypersonic explosion that also works on a psionic level. So anyone who is nearby who is telepathic gets impacted if they rolled low.
That would be me.
Yeah.
But I rolled a 15, so it didn't.
So
hurt
you
me
managed
that
to
bad.
defend it, yeah. But your ears are ringing and your brain, you feel like a massive migraine coming on.
He kind of like rubs his ears a little bit, going, super hearing.
What happens to
the super hearing? I can't hear my own thoughts.
What are you guys saying? I can't hear you.
Harper
so
is
what
like
happened
vibrating.
to the 2 people that failed?
Harper is like on the ground, like violently vibrating.
And what is Fang doing?
Remember,
I got a 2.
Yeah. You're like scratching at like Harper, like you're clawing at him. You think he's an enemy because you think the sound came from him, because like you're just confused right now. Get off of me, you crazed cat.
All right, enough, as he projects a telekinetic barrier all around us.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, my head hurts so much right now.
Baxter just sits there and goes, "Fucking Stuart." I know exactly who just did that too.
As you see the ride chairs go and lower.
All right, so obviously this is someone else's doing.
Yes.
There's a crackling
Exactly.
on the nearby TV from the ride, and you hear
exactly who.
as you see Stuart's face come on the screen, and it says hello. And
Yo!
Yes, Lois, it's me. I know exactly what you're up to, and I will not allow it.
Me? Up to something? You're the one that built all this, and you're the one that stole my ideas. You cheap
Exactly,
bastard.
so I can build the ultimate superhuman to destroy the world.
Really?
But you
You're gonna
probably
exploit
already
us
thought
now?
about that. So, I'm going to need a little help. I need you
Help?
guys to come to me, so I can
Hold
do
on
some
a minute.
tests.
Okay. A, we were gonna come for you anyway.
Oh, excellent.
B, you do realize that in the process of trying to make one superhuman to help you, you've made a whole bunch of superhumans that oppose you.
Oh well, side effects that could have come from. He's like flipping through like a notebook of like schematics. He's like, "Oh, Baxter. Why did you?" He's just he erases some of the schematics. And he's like, "We'll just make a quick change here and a quick change there, and now it should be
I
good."
want to ask you a very important question.
My time is limited. Make it quick.
Why do you want to destroy the world? Wouldn't that kill you in the process?
No, because I'm going to be the one destroying the world, you idiots.
If you destroy the world, you were born
That's
from,
not
you will die. I mean,
But that doesn't make any sense.
If I have the enough power to control and make myself a god.
Oh no, you don't.
That's just pathetic.
I decided
that is
to
just royally pathetic. I'm
decided to-
sorry.
roll for Baxter to try and track the signal.
Okay.
And I got an 18.
I'm gonna roll a counter.
You're gonna fail.
Actually, no, I rolled a 22. The
Why?
signal is
Why?
untraceable.
What's the point of rolling? What's the point?
You managed to trace it just up to the edge of like this like firewall, and then your signal's cut. I'll give you that much. But the signal is nearby. It's definitely nearby.
Baxter quickly he twitches a little bit.
Oh, so ingenious. However, I'm one step ahead of you, Lewis.
That's what you think. He says, "Will he tap something?"
I'm sorry, but
It's a bit-
no mortal can make themselves a god. That's physically impossible.
Oh, with my hyperbolic dish that I have built under this facility? Oh, but you probably knew that, Baxter, didn't you?
He totally knew that.
You, sir, are a complete and utter idiot.
I will have enough focal energy from these multiple solar flares this month to power an entire galaxy of superhumans. And I will consume their energy and make them mine.
Baxter's smile goes into a huge grin as he is quickly writing something.
What are you up to, Lewis?
Oh! You're such a moron. Why would you tell us your stupid plan anyways? He says, while he quickly puts something away.
And Queen
But
Veal
did
stands.
you know plans can be changed like that? And he snaps his fingers and the
course.
comm goes out and you lose signal.
He's an idiot. He was always full of himself.
Full of himself is an understatement.
Yeah.
Anyways,
He
I
told
have
us about the
perfect
dish, though.
plan. I'm going to, of course, just quickly finish the rest of my Park Guardians and a little side project. He says, "Well,
One of the robots that's like on your like shoulder starts blinking red, and you notice that it's injected you with something. As it flies off,
He says, "Of course. I don't care anymore." He quickly like spazzes a little bit. Anyways, I'll leave you lovely people out to your own devices. And of course, for the ones that don't have one, he quickly throws you all these walkie-talkies. These radios.
I will communicate through the little droidlings that are covering my body right now.
I don't think those are safe, he says as he looks at them and they're blinking red.
Don't worry. He says, well, he quickly pushes a button. They all like turn blue and disengage. I'll give you a new one. Well, new ones. He says, I'll send them to you as soon as they're done. He says, well, quickly, the floor opens, lowers them.
Blip, you notice the floor opens and one of these little bees flies out, like one that you recognize someone was working on.
Ah.
It floats up to you. Hello. I am.
Oh, you.
I am. Screaming Hornet.
What a cute side project. Never finished this one. Who was rebuilding this one again?
I helped you out with that.
Ah, of course.
How can I assist you, Master?
I'm not sure which of us you're addressing that way, but we need to...
My creator.
We need to find the dish.
The parabolic dish is located under the Underhub. Unfortunately, access is heavily restricted.
Yes, it is. I've been wondering what those locked bolt doors are for. But either way, I'll be on my own little way now. He says, we're lowering down fully and the floor closing.
As this bee is just floating next to you. But
you know, we probably shouldn't let Baxter go off on his own.
He is fine. He is perfectly okay.
I don't trust that for some reason. I don't trust the...
I do not trust him.
Either way, I think either way, we need to get... We need to maybe change gears and go after that dish. It's essential to Stewart's plans.
Yes, but what else?
But first,
he did say he changed his plans, so maybe he's not relying on the dish anymore, but definitely getting the dish off the table is a good idea.
Yeah. It's if nothing else, it's his way of channeling and gathering the cosmic energy that he's using for this project.
Definitely. Says, but I've tried blipping down there and he's like snapping his fingers and he just materializes back up like a couple inches next to where he was originally standing. I can't get down there. There's something preventing me from, just getting there.
Well, he's probably using some kind of multi-layered dimensional interference mapping or some sort of net devised to keep you away. Energy can interfere with energy when you reverse the frequency.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You could still get us deeper into the underhub, and we can make our way there.
I mean,
from that point.
I could blip to Baxter's lab, I guess you call it.
Yeah, it might be
Where
a good
is Baxter
starting point.
anyway? Where did he go?
Well,
Oh.
let's hope that he's at his lab.
He says, "Well, we can." I don't know if he wants to be disturbed, but I guess we can get there.
We should at least find out what he's doing.
I can get you close as he snaps his fingers, and you guys are now kind of outside the front door to his lab.
You hear like a lot of work, and this door is double doors now instead of a single door.
Yep, and it's bolted shut.
Yes.
I guess he doesn't want to be disturbed.
There's actually a sign that says "Do not disturb" on the door.
It's like one of the hotel signs.
I feel good disturbing him anyway, because I still need information that he has.
Are you sure that's okay? Because last time we tried to disturb him while he was engrossed in his projects, he got a little bit, how should I say, rough around the edges, looking at Fang.
Me. One scientist to another, I'm sure he's not going to mind it that much.
Jesse is gonna kind of pull Ace to the side a little bit and say, I'm going to go explore the vents. I'm gonna need you to keep time.
Okay. What do you need me to do specifically?
Give me 4.5 minutes and then find a way to get a hold of me.
All right, we'll do.
Yep.
Do you want someone to go with you?
The professor waves his hand and slides the deadbolt open.
She'll look at Fang and say, and look up to one of the the little openings in the little air vents, one of those industrial air vents, and says, I don't think you can follow where I'm going.
Right.
And
she shrinks down and flies into the vent.
There you go.
Did I just see her vent?
Oh! But anyways, you'll unlock the
sus.
But anyways,
Quick, call an emergency meeting.
But anyways, you open the double doors.
Wait, should I have been using my professor sheet this whole time instead of the other?
No, you're good.
Your super form.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're once you're a super form, unless you're in disguise, yeah.
Oh, okay. So am I in super form right now, or?
Yeah. You can choose to be. It sounds like.
Okay, because I've got way more stats in my super form than I did.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, you open up the double doors and you see the room is very large.
Yeah, and there's a lot of steam and like pipes and everything.
A lot of machinery, and you see sparks over like around the corner where you could probably imagine Baxter's working very hard and slightly cackling to himself.
The professor reaches out and like telekinetically knocks a tool off the table. Just a small tool, like a screwdriver or a
wrench
or a or a drill.
Yeah.
You see the drilling stop. Well, not the drilling, but the sparking stop, probably from welding. And you see him quickly walk over. What? Oh, it's you.
Yes, I wanted to discuss some things with you while you worked. It's very important, and I want to get the full spectrum of things before we go too far and get our heads too deep in the rhino's butthole.
Fine, he says while walking back over. And
That's quite a metaphor.
That's a reference to a movie. I'll let you guys figure it out.
But you see him walking back and working away on this large robot that's almost serpentine-like. So what's your questions?
First of all, he's beautiful. Secondly, this character that we just ran into, who exactly is he?
Stuart? You mean
Yes, that fellow that I want to now strangle with my bare hands.
They used to own this park before I took over. Well, actually, yeah. And used to be my stupid boss that kept me just repairing machines and stuff. And almost everything here I built, but he stole my blueprints. All I wanted was to get a little higher on the chain. Finally do what I wanted. But instead he stole my ideas and then said other people made it.
You still have the letter crumpled up on like your workbench.
Yeah.
May I read that?
Of course you can. He
A
says,
quick flick of the fingers brings it over to him.
I will send you the file. Give me a moment.
A readable file.
Give me a moment. It's a PDF, so just letting you know.
This doesn't look very promising. It sounds angry, even.
Where is the file? I have to figure out where I put it.
He literally fired me on the day I got turned into this. Fired me right on the
So
spot.
he's prejudiced against your form. How very insightful of him.
And he also, that day, he stole all of my hard work that I made.
Hold on,
Well, I will assist you in rebuilding everything as much as I can, but that's for later on. Right now, third question I have. I'll put this letter away for just a moment. How long has this back and forth sibling rivalry-esque banter of yours been going on?
You mean me versus Stuart?
And what else would I be talking about? Of course, yes.
Ever since I first really worked here, about, let's say, 10 or so years ago. It slips past my mind about how long.
Funny how I never knew this park existed, and I've lived in Tallahassee for my last 40 years of my life. Interesting.
Yeah, the park was really small. Only had about 2 rides or something. And didn't even have any animatronics or anything before I started helping.
That explains why I didn't know anything about it.
There you go. Mag.
Let's see here.
It took us such a long time.
Yes, I see it.
And the worst thing is none of their, mechanics and engineers really even knew how to operate half the stuff.
Let's see.
Embarrassing, truly.
Oh my. Oh dear. So. Wait, hold on. They worked you like a dog, and then when you got tired on the job and were forced to sleep, you... What?
You know, spending so much time trying to work at the place made me really tired. But anyways, what were you gonna say?
Hello?
Hello.
Let's see here.
You know, the worst thing is they barely gave me any time at all. I actually had to abandon my old house and started living here. And then, of course, my paycheck got cut in half. The boss said, it's for rent. Actually got cut even lower.
So, regardless of the fact that you designed everything, your name is rightfully on the designs, they stole this stuff from you. How completely belligerent do you have to be to rob somebody of their life's work?
I don't know.
Makes me want to strangle him even more.
Yes, of course. And now he's trying to take over my machinery. Unfortunately for him.
As you hear an alarm going off in the distance, warning, intrusion detected. Cell area 17.
He pushes a button and pulls like a tablet out of the wall to see what's going on.
You see that those harm people have made it somehow into the parks.
The harm, whatever those guys are here. This is, of course, why you have the park guardians. Pushes a button. Park guardians, we have visitors. Make sure to greet them with a warm welcome. He pulls this mic away because he pulled it out of nowhere. Anyway,
you said you were going to rebuild the little fellows, right?
Yes, of course. Speaking of which, he pulls out this little container. Here you go.
Many thanks. And he unscrews the thing and opens it.
You see a bunch of these tiny little robots, and they all come out. They also have tiny little, tiny versions of his little logo on all of them as well.
Yep.
Well, anyways.
Right, boys. Cover my lab coat in a cloak, will you?
They do it almost right before... They actually start doing it before you even finish your sentence.
Wonderful. Professor Encephalus is on the rise.
Very good. I also, of course, made them a lot more immune to, well, any types of intrusions. Pretty much all my robots are immune to them, but they didn't get that treatment as they were so small. But
Wonderful.
With making them only about, let's say, one tiny little centimeter bigger, that gave me enough room to give them what they needed to protect themselves.
Wonderful. All right, then. I have one last question, and I'll be on my way to trying to find this Stewart. What a terrible name for a villain. Stewart.
Yes. Sounds like a nerd. But what's your last
Agreed. The last question is, what is the central makeup of this entire park? If you can get me the neglected backways that this park uses, I might be able to do some damage and convince Mr. Peter to make himself more present.
Ah, yes. Neglected stuff. Well, that's mostly a lot of the... Well, I have no idea what he was thinking. He made some under areas that were probably a little too big without any pillars. Or at least very weak pillars. I imagine if you mess with that area over there, you'll probably cause something.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. I'll just simply go and rip those terribly built pillars out and cause those important areas of his to collapse. That'll get his attention.
Luckily, it's nowhere in the main important areas anyways. Either way.
Warning, intruders detected in park gates.
Yes, the harm.
But first, I want to deal with these intruders myself. I don't like these people. I'm going to brain them to death.
Okay, then.
Tally-ho!
Well, if you want to get there quickly, he says while pushing a button, and you see a little elevator thing open up. That should take you where you need to go.
He floats over to it. Ta-ta for now. Come on, boys. We have fun to be had. As he goes up with the elevator.
The elevator goes up, and the next thing you know, basically you rise out of the ground and out of around a corner.
Yep. And that's where we're gonna have to end, unfortunately. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on Heroes Core World of Adventures. I am PA Kenny USA, aka RT Steers, aka Harper West /Blip, and I'm going to pass it off to the fuzzball over there.
Which fuzzball?
The one to my...
The kitty cat or the other one?
The cat.
Kitty cat.
Yes.
Talk.
I'm
Hello.
a kitty cat. I go meow, 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 meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Hello, I am Trisha Welsh. I played Ella Simone. It is French. Otherwise known as Secret Fang, who is now a very tall cat. And we'll see if she can transform back into her normal self later. I will pass it down to the Queen Bee.
I am Teresa Noir. I played Jessica Rose, aka Queen Bee, who is currently flying through vents, probably going to find her way out to the outside to fight these guys. Just wrong turn at Albuquerque. And yeah, eventually, hopefully, we'll thwart the plans by absorbing the solar energy and actually becoming a goddess. Why not? Now on to the other furball.
Wait, didn't you already do this once?
That's
yeah,
wrong.
I'm hoping you see a trend here.
Yes, I do see a trend.
Well, sorry for you. I am obviously the rightful owner of the park. I mean, I'm the rightful owner of the bad solar stuff. Solar stuff. Anyways, I'm of course Baxter, or Lewis Harley, if you want to call me by my weaker name. And of course, I was controlled by a gearbox. Hello, here I am. I mean, either way, genius inventor to a pretty smart one as well. You, Ace.
I am Pi 3, otherwise known as Chris, and I play Diamond Ace, otherwise known as Christian Pierce. Very lucky inventor.
Remember, folks, luck is a superpower.
Yeah, luck is a superpower.
I refuse.
You're gonna make me have to watch Deadpool 2. Not that that's
Domino.
Oh.
Not that that's any sort of burden, because it's such a good movie. But anyway, I will pass the ball up to the professor.
Hello, everyone. I am Eric Gunwin, played by Mag. I also play the heroic role of Professor Encephalus, or for those of you who don't read Greek or Roman, Professor Mind. Yes, I know it's cliche as all get out, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. I want to pass it off to our...
Nobody, because we're all done.
Yep, because...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hold on. No. I'll pass it off to the full party, because everybody wants to say goodbye all together, because this is our second round of this particular game, correct?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Now, everyone, let's say goodbye in 3, 2, 1.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.